What's up, tricksters and tricksetas, and welcome to another Tier 3 sub-VOD review presented by your favorite radiant coach, Charlatano Papito. Today, at our coaching table, we have Fukuro, Chamber main, on Lotus in Ascendant 2. So we need to change the icon down there to the Ascendant DOS. Now, let's see what our friend Fukuro said to us. Hey Charlatan, here's the gameplay video I decided to send with Chamber on Lotus. I originally considered sending an Omen video, but ultimately went with this one instead. I know you suggested using my current main, but I don't really have one, so I had to make a choice. So for everyone reading this, yes, I tagged Chamber here, but my ultimate goal is to find my main agent. I don't play Chamber often, tracker says 21 hours. It would have been better if you maybe submitted Omen. You know? Like, then I can actually figure out based on how you play Omen which other agents I can recommend you. You know, the problem is, I mean, even with Chamber, we will figure out how passive you are, how aggressive and stuff like that, and what type of setups you're using. But it would have been better if you submitted the Chamber. Since this VOD review is going to be from two parts, you know, today we're not actually doing the VOD review, we're doing the tracker review and this. You have 24 hours to maybe get a new VOD. You know, maybe Omen on some map. But because your main goal is to find your main agent. You know, that is the help that you want from me. I don't know if with Chamber I can actually tell you, you know, based on your Chamber gameplay, if I can tell to you, like, which agent you should play. That's why Omen is really good as well. Like, you know, Omen can really make you figure out, like, which agents are made for you. Like, complex agents, simple agents, etc, etc. Suggestions like, play the agent you have fun with, or take this tier list for climbing are not working for me, because my goal is not to climb. Sure, would be nice, but I know I have time limitations. And fun is relative, and I have fun with a lot of agents. Okay, I rather want to know which agent or sub-role would I benefit the most based on my playstyle and behavior. And I really don't care if at the end of the day, it's a D rank agent or one I've put only 1 hour in so far. Okay, so the goal of this VOD review, beside telling you what you can do better, is gonna be to find the main agents for you. I will really, you know, we will try to find like 3 to 4 recommendations that you can main up to Immortal 3, and I'll make sure that they are fun. You know, we'll see your gameplay. I don't know what the fuck am I gonna see in this VOD review. So for this video, of course, I play Chamber differently than other agents. I tend to peak more aggressively with him compared to others. That said, please don't focus too much on Chamber himself. I know I made mistakes, but my main goal is still to find the best agent for me, not necessarily to refine my Chamber play. I also realize that a single video won't be enough for a full assessment, but I hope it gives you some insight into my playstyle. One video for this is fine. You know, like, if you need to find the main agents for you, I think it's gonna be fine. You know, maybe not the best, but as I said, like, it would have been better if you submitted the Omen VOD review and not the Chamber, but we'll talk about it in the next 24 hours. What I instantly noticed after watching myself in this video was that I think my sense is too low for myself. My EDPI is 280, that is on the lower end, which is totally fine, but it looked too slow. It doesn't feel like that when I'm playing. What's maybe also important, because you see me sometimes struggling with the abilities, I switch the abilities to the mouse buttons, which is kinda against my muscle memory. Okay, a few things about me. I feel like duelist might not be my strength. My mechanical aim isn't my biggest asset, and I often feel pressure when playing them. But if you see potentially me for that role, I'm open to it, and I won't care anymore if I'm the third duelist beside Reyna or Jett. Listen, that is a huge misconception that players have in Valorant. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, listen, when you're playing duelists, depending which, fuck that shit. Duelists don't exist in ranked. Initiators don't exist. Sentinels don't exist. Controllers don't exist. We have movement type of agents. We have flash type of agents. We have immobile type of agents. And we have recon agents. Movement doesn't those Valorant roles, they don't fucking exist when you're choosing your main agent, essentially. So, based on your strengths and weaknesses, you want to choose the category of agents from these 4 categories that suits you the best. For example, movement agents, such as Jet, Raze, Omen, stuff like that, they don't really rely on a mechanical skill a lot. Like, they all have some kind of an escape abilities, outplay potential. You can use a variety of different weapons to take the kills. Like, for example, when you're playing Jet on Bind, for an example, you don't need to touch a Vandal, or Phantom, or Sheriff. You can use Operator, Judge, and Outlaw on both attack and defense 24/7. And carry the match with these 3 weapons, for an example. Easily, without any problems. Obviously, that is not the most optimal playstyle and, what you should be doing, but you get a point. So just remove that mentality, like, there's duelist role, there is this role, the role, you're playing ranked, you're playing in ranked solo queue with Jimmy Bimbo 69 and Pussy Slayer 54. Like, it doesn't matter that much. I'm currently Ascendant 2 and I have already hit Immortal before. Okay. Like I said, ranking up is not my goal. I know I'll likely D-rank with a new agent, and that's fine with me. Absolutely. Like, I mean, whenever you pick something new, chances are 50-50 that, listen, like, whenever you're learning something new, you should never give a fuck about ranking up. The only thing that you care about is getting better, improving yourself, and the results will come later. Like, a lot of the players, like, they change the sensitivity, maybe they change the agent, maybe they're changing the training as well. And in a week or two, they D-rank and they, start losing some games, and they say, fuck this shit. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm going back to my previous settings, like, you need to give yourself some time. Progress never happens overnight. There is no magic pill for getting better at Valorant. It doesn't exist. Like, for example, when I coach players privately, in my private coaching sessions, like, I can expect the results. So we do a month of coaching, for an example. I can expect some results from you around a month or 2 after we finish our coaching. No. Dudu, thank you for the Prime sub. We just cannot have that music here because I'm gonna get copyrighted later on YouTube. Thank you a lot. Why? Because you're doing something completely different. You're trying to apply the new tips, new rules. Maybe you're learning new agent. You need to pay more attention on the minimap. You need to do some kind of a training. But brother, you're not a fucking machine, man. You're just an average human being trying to get better. So, whenever you're trying something new, some new training, give it some time. Like, minimum 3 weeks, maximum 3 months. And that's it. Now, where the fuck am I? Ideally, I'd find the best fit, improve and naturally rank up over time, but I'm not focused on rank itself, which is good. And if I want to climb in the future, which hopefully my main we found here, then I can always come back to Charlatan and ask again. Listen, like, when it comes to, you really are, my guy here is really focused on finding the main agent. But I'm not going to suggest you to play only one agent. That's going to be impossible. Especially if you do this chamber VOD review. I'm going to give you 4 suggestions. 2 main and 2 alternative picks. And in the next 3 months, you will have to figure out, based on your data and based on what you enjoy the most, what suits you the best. So I'll give you 4 recommendations, 2 main and 2 alternative. I'll tell you on which maps to play these agents, and, in the next 3 months, you need to figure it out yourself. I mean, or, we can keep in touch and you can just tell me, like, You can give me your tracker, for an example, data tracking document or something like that. I don't have much time to play, as I work and study full-time, and have a little child, so I often queue without, oh my god, like, fucking full-time, like, no. So, you see this? And what are you doing, man? How the fuck are you hard-stuck in gold? My dude has a kid, a wife, a job, and he studies as well. And he reached immortal. What the fuck are you doing? Come on, man. Private coaching Discord server, come on, like book a session and that's it. Now, however, I'd be willing to spend 15 minutes warming up if it helps. Like, literally, when you don't have time to play Valorant, like, that is the main thing I recommend to players. Just make sure that you have 15 to 30 minutes of proper warm-up, and that's it. It's fine. Everything else, like, if you don't have time to play Valorant that much, 15, 20 minutes warm-up, 30 maybe, ranked games, and that's it. Now, right now I have a semester break, so I have a bit time, and the last 2 days I tried to get a match which is close, and I'm not completely dogshit for this video here. I don't have rank anxiety, quite the opposite, so I'm fine playing against higher ranks or deranking. My dude has a really good mentality, but he also has 3 problems. Job, wife, and a kid. If you remove these 3 problems, he's probably radiant. Now, most of my hours are on Sova, but that was mostly in the early days when I wasn't playing seriously. I play way more unrated because of one of my friends this time was way lower than me, and I wanted to play together, okay? I only started focusing on ranked in Act 5, and even then my hours played wasn't much. In Act 7 I hit Immortal using Omen because he was, and still is, one of the easier agents to climb with, absolutely, especially solo queue. I guess when you look up at my tracker, you see mostly Initiator and Controller, but that's mostly because of filling reasons. I want to commit to one agent for consistency, I don't play a lot, and that's fine by me. But I like to maximize the impact of my limited playtime. While I normally can grind the matches, I do have time to watch and learn from videos. Let me know if you need any other details or footage. Thanks again for your time. Listen, man. Like, okay. So we have a few goals here. Goal number 1. Finding main agents for you for the next 3 months. Goal number 2 is finding a warm-up for you that you can use before every match. Goal number 3 is finding private coaching videos that are going to help you with your problems. And also, because you got a tier 3 sub, I highly recommend you to check my ranked playbook on the Discord server right here. Almost everything that you need is there, essentially, in the agent guides. How to play the maps, how to position, how to do this, do that, like, that is the first thing I would recommend you to learn from. And of course, you're gonna get some additional private coaching videos based on the shit that I'm gonna see in this VOD review, obviously. And also, what I would maybe recommend you in the future, if you get a bit more serious, but you still don't have time for coaching or for playing the game, is getting the full pack of the private coaching videos that I have. Because with that coaching, basically like exclusive coaching videos, you know what I'm talking about, like on my Discord. Because I have like tons of footage that you can watch in your free time, and that will definitely help you grind, you know, forward. And also, you will have my 24/7 support, lifetime, unfortunately for me, and good for you. And also, like, I will be able to review one clip for you every single day. So every single day we can, you know, I can answer to 5, 6, 7 questions from you. We can review some clips and stuff like that. So that is the only thing I would recommend you, like, in the future if you consider something like that. But because you said here that you have time to watch the videos, which is really good, to be honest. I mean, why is it good? Because you said that your playtime is limited, and it is better if you invest that limited playtime into actually warming up and playing the game. Other than that, let's see his tracker. Okay, let's see what our friend Fukuro, how the tracker of our friend Fukuro looks like. So basically our friend started playing this game in closed beta probably. I would say that our friend is absolutely an above average player. Like, he managed to reach Ascendant 1 with an extremely low playtime. Like, he went from Platinum 2 to Ascendant 1 in less than 200 hours, which is really good. This means that if our friend Fukuro actually invested more time into playing game, he probably has a potential of reaching Radiant. I say probably because we can also see that here he got a bit stuck, but the problem in these acts is that the game started developing in a different direction. It became more grindy. Essentially, the turning point of Valorant was somewhere in episode 5. At two years ago, approximately. Like, that is the moment where, if you want to reach higher ranks, you really need to play every day, every act, every episode, minimum 3 games per day. 1 to 3 games. Something that's a bare, the bottom, essentially. But he did spend a lot of time right here in Ascendant 3, and it took him some time to actually get Immortal 1. So, yes, he is an immortal player, capable of being immortal, essentially, and he can definitely do something better than what he is doing in all of these acts. Like, for an example, once you reach the Immortal 1 here, you should have been able to get Immortal 1 during these acts easily, because of your MMR and because of your account that is already Immortal 1, essentially. So we started definitely doing some fuck-ups around this point right there. One thing that I don't understand is, when you were grinding a lot, here, for an example, you had a really positive win rate and a really good win rate and a solid performance as well. I don't know why you didn't stick with the Omen a bit more. Let me see how the Omen worked for you. So episode 7 Act 1 and episode 7 Act 2. Act 1. Solid. Not that bad, and a very high win rate with Deadlock. Interesting. Here, episode 7 Act 1 and Act 2, right? No, it was episode 6 Act 3. 63% win rate. I don't know, man, to be honest, you know what is the thing with you? Like, the thing with you is that agent that you play really doesn't matter at all. Like, you're not in this elo and you're not in these lobbies because of the agent that you play. It's more like about what you're doing in the game. How you're actually playing the game. And also how much time you have to invest into game. But as he said in that Discord, segment, he doesn't have time to actually grind properly. So that's a bit of a problem. Basically, all of these stats here, they're more related to your inconsistency in playtime and what you do outside of the game, rather than, which agent you play or something like that. But I don't know, as I said, even with this playtime, you should have been able to get Immortal 1 back at least once, you know, like, or maybe even Immortal 3, to be honest. I see here that you tested a lot of different, like, my man played a lot of different agents. I don't know. We'll take a look at that Omen gameplay of yours, and we'll see, like, what type of playstyle actually suits you the best. Because, yeah, with Omen, positive win rate, good scores, Sova, not that good, but it's okay. Fade is also working well for you. Neon, surprisingly, I don't know when exactly you play Neon, but 60% win rate in 40 games, not that bad, you know, not that bad. Chamber as well, like, I mean, 57% win rate, 37 matches, also really, really good. Really, really good. I mean, based on these stats, I will simply say that agents that suit you the best are the agents that have freedom in their gameplay. You know, like, agents that have some kind of an outplay potential. Agents that are, like, harder to punish. Meaning that even if you make a mistake, you have some kind of an escape route. Like, you can reset the round, reset yourself. So yeah, like, that's a huge problem. I mean, no, not a problem. Like, that's something that we can tell from this tracker. Like, basically, Astra, for an example, like, Astra is an agent that doesn't have that many outplays. It is heavily team reliant, and that's why you have a low win rate, essentially. Sova as well, like, I mean, you're 50% win rate, but that's not good enough, obviously, for ranking up. But also then we have Gecko that doesn't suit you at all. Like, we'll see. Like, we'll see in your tracker, in your gameplay, essentially. When it comes to this exact performance, my friend, like, literally everything is bad for you. You know, like, ADR, bad. KD, bad. KST, bad. The only thing that is good or solid, overall headshot percentage, but the headshot percentage with Vandal and Phantom on the border of being bad. Then, like, you know, clutch percentage, bad. The amount of last, that's probably also bad. Yeah, 99 in 43 matches. Attacker side, bad. Defender side, bad. Like, simply said, you need to work on your consistency. If your plan is just to rank up, you know, at some point, like if you decide one day I want to be Radiant or something like that, like, you definitely need to stick only to 4 agents. We will try to find these 4 agents in the next 3 months and during this VOD review as well. You need to have some consistent warm-up, consistent training, and you need to start from the beginning, basically, like, if you want to move forward in terms of your rank, at least. Like, only somehow, I mean, you have 58% win rate, but, I mean, like, with these stats, it was probably more luck-based than anything else, like, to be honest, because with these statistics, you're simply not a useful asset during your games. You know? Like, very, very underwhelming and performance from your side. We'll see, as I said, like, your gameplay. When it comes to weapon versatility, very good that your pistol rounds are the best. You know, basically, this is how a proper tracker should look like. Pistol rounds on top, full buy rounds, semi-buy rounds, and then eco rounds. But the problem is, like, you know, your performance in all of these rounds is, like, just abysmal. Like, you know, not good enough if you plan on reaching Immortal 3 or Radiant anytime soon. As I said, like, based on this performance, at least in this act, and in the previous one as well, I have no idea how the hell you keep a positive win rate. I mean, you don't play that many games. You know, he played only 37 matches and stuff like that, so this is not really a representative amount of games to talk about this topic. But, no, you know, the guy is not carrying the matches. That's the problem. Like, doesn't have enough impact to actually close out some of these rounds, win them himself. Like, in Ascendant and Low Immortal, you need to be a one-man army, essentially. Like, you need to do the most important work, trading the numbers, not making numbers advantage, keeping the numbers advantage, focusing on a proper team play, refrag potential, correcting the mistakes of your teammates, countering the enemies. Like, you need to be present in the game in every round. And in every round, you need to have minimum 1 KD. You know, 1, 1, 1, 1. And the KST needs to be 74 to 75%. ADR and all of this shit, it doesn't matter that much. But when you have a high KD and high KST, obviously you're going to have a bit higher ADR and ACS and Delta as well. When it comes to weapon versatility, absolutely terrible. You know, too many kills on Phantom Vandal. You need to develop a better weapon versatility, like Shorty should be your primary, secondary weapon. In every full buy round, you need to use it more to trade yourself for the kills. Judge is there, but only 7 kills. Like, I mean, you should be picking it a lot more, especially considering agents that you played and that you're playing right now. Outlaw, I mean, you notice that enemies are playing a half buy round, bonus round. They don't have money for heavy shield. You buy the Outlaw, you fuck them up on a defender side, and that's it. Operator, literally doesn't matter which agent you play. You can play Jesus Christ. Like, there is a place and time where you should buy the Operator, and you need to master the weapon, basically. So, weapon versatility, mega low. You're just focusing on the most basic weapons. And with better weapon versatility, grind is going to be much easier for you. Because if you cannot out-aim, especially for you, like, you don't have a lot of time to play Valorant. You don't have a lot of time to aim train, to like, spend on training. For that type of a player, weapon versatility is mega important. Because you need to figure out other cheesy ways of taking the kills instead of taking 50-50 duels left and right. And that is the beauty of Valorant. That's why, like, you know, anyone can be Immortal 3. You just need to find the right playstyle for yourself, the right training for yourself, depending on your personality and limitations and the free time, obviously. And yeah, I don't know, like, just we need to see your gameplay, because you played a lot of different agents. Like, my man played a bit of Clove, a bit of Teho, a bit of Deadlock, a bit of Omen, a bit of Breach, a bit of this, a bit of that, like, a bit of everything. I cannot believe that he played 7 hours of Harbor. Like, I would rather suck a 10-inch cock than play 7 hours of Harbor. Like, there's no fucking way that I would do that to myself. Like, that's crazy, bro. Especially when the Omen exists and a Clove. Would you rather grind Valorant your whole life or suck a dick once? Suck a dick once. Thank you. Thank you for that question. Okay, now he changed his VOD. You know, like, we're not gonna be doing a Chamber on Lotus. We're actually doing a Omen VOD review. So Omen, Ascendant, and tomorrow we're gonna see, like, which map he is going to record for us. Okay, now let's see what our friend Fulcrum Fucaro something shared with us. So he changed his VOD. We're not doing Omen on Lotus, Chamber on Lotus anymore. We're doing Omen on Split. Yay. So we already established what are our goals during this VOD review. Our friend is Ascendant 2, and we're starting on the attacker side of Split. Now, on the attack of Split, let's talk about the map a bit. A site, #1 priority. B site, #2 priority. But generally, how you play Split heavily depends on the enemy's team composition. Like, you don't really give a fuck about your team comp as much as you give a fuck about enemy's team comp in the first 4 to 6 rounds. So, you enter a match of Split, you're in the loading screen, the first info that you're writing down for yourself is what the fuck we should do against enemy's team composition, how can we counter it, and yeah, that's it essentially. And what plays will work. So, if enemies have Sage in their team comp, in the first round, avoid going B and avoid splitting the B site. Because that Sage most of the time is gonna play somewhere here and she will delay or fuck up your push. If enemies don't have the Sage, you can do a 1-4 split onto the B site in the first round, but never do the 5-man push through the B main. 5-man push through the B main in the first round is only good if enemies have a terrible team comp. Literally, they have 5 duelists or they have like 3 duelist, controller, and I don't know, like an initiator or something like that. So, if enemies have Cypher or some real sentinel, such as Killjoy or Cypher for an example, also avoid 5-man pushes through the B main and through the A main. Whenever enemies have 2 or more sentinels, the best idea is a 5-man push onto the A tower. First, you take the tower control, and then from this control, you're deciding what to do next. Basically on Split, whenever like the match is falling apart, whenever enemies have a really hard team composition to play around on the attacker side, your best idea that you can give to your teammates is taking the control of this area of the map right here. Because once you take the B tower or A tower control, the rounds become much easier on Split. Now, let's talk about this specific team comp. So enemies have no Sage, no Sentinels. Chamber doesn't count, obviously, like Chamber is not a Sentinel. So you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. The only thing that I would avoid here is a 5-man push onto the B site, because if the breach is playing B, you don't really want to be in this corridor right here. So in the first round we can do a 1-4 split like this. We play mid with a spike and we drop the smokes here and here. We can do a 5-man push on A site. And in the first round, if you're doing 5-man execute with Omen, you should always play aggressive or semi-aggressive. So for an example, in the first round with Omen, if you're doing a 5-man push through the A main, we should be dropping a smoke for the rafters, smoke for the elbow and CT, and we are teleporting right here from this position. From this spot, we're moving into the elbow smoke, clearing the site, and then where we should play depends on, you know, where the fuck are the enemies at that moment of time and like what our teammates are doing. And of course, like, even if enemies have a terrible team composition to defend on Split, you can try taking that A tower control in the first round. Like, generally speaking, the best strategy in the first round is doing a 5-man push onto the A tower. Doing this type of a smoke, telling your Raze or Jet to satchel or updraft dash instead of this smoke, and then pinching the enemies on tower. And you can also leave one of your teammates here to watch the push through the smoke. You take the tower control, and based on how many kills you take, and how many enemies you think are playing here or here, depends what is the next focus. If you think there's only one enemy on A side, go A. Drop down, you know, pinch that enemy down, and take the A side control. If you have no idea what the fuck is happening on A side, you can simply scoot through the vents onto the B site and reset the round completely.
Vents.
Here, you know, the only thing I would avoid is a 5-man push through the B main. Only because of the breach. Because if the breach is playing on the B site, that's not gonna end up really good in this match. Also, listen, like in the first round, always play with your teammates. Like, where the fuck are you starting right now? What's going on? Why are you starting on the mid alone in the sewers with a spike?
Soft.
You know, the problem here is you don't know what your teammates here is gonna do. Even if your teammates give you some call out, such as let's take mid control, you don't know if your teammates are gonna commit to that call out. In this first round, because we don't know with what type of teammates we're playing, it would have been much better if you simply started with your allies here. And from this position, try to do a B split or take the mid control. Because right now, what your teammates can also do is just, you know, fully autopilot and Cypher, Fade, and Jet. They decide to go through the B main, and you and Sage are alone on mid, fighting enemies alone with the spike, which is stupid. You know, in this round, if my teammates don't listen to the call out, and 3 of my teammates go here, I follow them. Fuck it. I need to play with them. And then we can go for this aggressive play, where we do this smoke setup. TP here, here, or here. Outplay the enemies, fuck them up, take more space, and that's it. I don't know, this round already is gonna be interesting. Okay, they're actually listening. Okie dokie. Someone is with a sheriff on A site. That is probably Jet or ISO.
If you ready?
Interesting stun. Another sheriff. Listen, whenever you're doing the B split, especially in the first round, smoke the vents and smoke the tower. Fuck the CT. Fuck it. Like, we cannot, like, in ranked solo queue, you need to use your utility based on how much map control you have gained from the enemy team. Like, you cannot use your utility thinking 2 steps ahead that your teammates are gonna do something properly. What I mean about this, like, leaving this gap open here, you know, and doing the smoke in CT is a huge problem. Because, first of all, when you don't have a smoke for the B tower, a lot of the players like to hold this off angle here, and a lot of the times your teammates are just gonna push like this, fully giving the anal cavity to the enemies and fully denying a possibility that one enemy can be there. 20-30% of times your teammates are gonna die from that guy there. Then there's another problem, like, we are doing a 1-4 split, meaning that Cypher is not really a playmaker, and he cannot, you know, play that fast. He needs to walk through that B-main area of the map, take everything inch by inch, and there is a huge chance that we're gonna end up here without any map control on the site, without any information where the fuck are enemies here. And if you're exposed from here, from here, from here, from there, and from the rafters during this push, and especially if you don't have a wall for the vents, you know, if your Sage doesn't use it here, we can get fucked and pinched by the enemies. So, fuck it. Like, just when you're doing a 1-4 split in the first round, do the smoke here, do the smoke here, play with your most aggressive teammates, and, you know, when you reach this position and clear these angles, you can simply teleport here. From this position, hold the CT, clear below the box, and as your teammates are moving into the site, we can move in together with them.
Behind us. That is fair.
Yeah, they left the whole B site open. I don't know why you decided to plant the spike here. The question number one is, why are we planting the spike in this position when we can simply plant it for the B main, where it is fully exposed from the tower, from the B main, from the site? And the second question here is like, no, not really a question. Like, in ranked solo queue, really try to give this job of planting the spike in the hands of your teammates. Because while you're planting the spike, you're relying on your teammates to protect you. You're just useless, essentially. You cannot position properly to play with your allies, most aggressive teammates, or to outplay the enemies at the end of the day. And, you know, you can carry the spike with yourself during the executes, but usually when you end up on the side, just drop it to one of your teammates, you know, drop it to Sage, Cypher, whoever the fuck. Tell them, hey, here, plant the spike. I'm gonna protect you. Because right now, you're only praying to God that Sage, Cypher, and Jet are gonna do a proper job. And also, I don't know why we are planting the spike here. I mean, it's a good spot because of the one-way smokes and stuff like that, but... Above you? Listen, like, map awareness, 0 points. Like, listen, so you're planting the spike. We are planting the spike. We are absolutely useless. Like, you're not doing anything. Like, for 4 seconds, nothing. During these 4 seconds, you should be looking at the minimap and asking yourself, what the fuck is my next step? Like, if you did this, you know, so right now I'm still looking at the minimap because I still don't have a classic pistol in my hands. Aha, Jet killed my Fade. I'm fucked from the tower. I still have the smoke in the CT. Enemies didn't cross the CT. I don't want to be stuck here because enemies from CT and tower can pinch me and make a sandwich out of me. Right now, we should either teleport somewhere or aggress the enemies somewhere. Like, why do we need to aggress the enemies? We already are in the numbers disadvantage. And whenever you're in the numbers disadvantage during the post plans, you should be playing a bit more aggressive. Especially if you have a classic pistol, like, you know, you can try to get into the enemy's face and gamble on the triple shot roulette. So in this scenario, like, you had 2 options. Option number 1 is re-smoking here, the CT, in a cubby position way, where we can play around this angle here. And try to kill the enemies moving through the CT. And take the cover with the smoke. Option number 2, re-smoking the CT, teleporting onto the site, and from the site, playing with her allies, this post-plant. Option number 3, doing one of the best post-plant setups that you have, which is smoke here, TP top, and then slowly scooting inside of the smoke. Playing on this off angle, waiting for the enemies to come, deleting this enemy, and then with the second shrouded step, we can outplay the rest of the enemy team, and you can go, you know, behind the box here. You can go all the way deep. All the way deep into the mail room. Or, you know, use a fake shrouded steps to reveal the enemies and outplay them. So, you know, if you, generally speaking, like, when you reach this Ascendant, low immortal elo, one of the main things, another very important thing that players are missing is situational awareness. Basically, players, you need to understand your win conditions and what you should do in every scenario with a specific agent that you're playing at that moment of time. Not watching NRG game, I don't watch VCT at all. Like, I watch CS2 and League of Legends esports. VCT is just boring, man. I don't know. And anyways, you know, you never want to position yourself in a way where you're exposed from multiple different angles at any moment of time. Basically, one of the main rules that you want to follow in Valorant when you're positioning yourself is the following. You never want to be exposed from 2 or more different angles that you don't see on your screen at that moment of time. Here, like, pathing from this position like this was just a suicide. Like, you end up here, exposed from tower, under the tower, and CT. Like, you always want to make sure that all of the angles that from which enemies can kill you are within your sight. And also, in this specific match, you're playing Omen. Like, use your shrouded steps to reposition. Why are you even repositioning with your feet?
City in heaven.
Trigger.
We have.
Yeah.
We can get.
Now listen, usually against this specific enemy's team composition, where they have 0 sentinels, the best idea in the first 3 rounds is to do a 5-man push onto the A site, and in the 4th round to do some kind of a fake. Either fake A and then go B, or fake B and then go A. The best idea, especially because A site is your default site, it is much easier for the post plant, much harder for the retake as well, and your teammates have a bit less room to make some stupid mistakes. Essentially. Now, if you're not creating this pattern of pushing, then if you lose the first round, on the attacker side, the easiest place where you can get some kills with Omen is the mid area of the map. Mail room and the vents. You buy a shorty, you buy 2 smokes, and you buy 1 shrouded step. Triple S, like in all good days. So like, basically, you smoke the vents, smoke both smokes we use for this. We jump spot the enemies from this position, or we can start in the sewers, jump spot the enemies here, and then we can use teleports to close the gap with the enemies. But usually the best idea is to start in the here, use smoke, jump spot the enemies, none of the enemies are here, walk up mid. And you want to clear the box, and you have 2 options. Either going into the mailroom smoke and trying to find a fight here, or going into the vent smoke and clearing the vents for your teammates. Most of the times, I would recommend you in Ascendant and Low Immortal, when you're doing this type of an eco round play, go into the vents. Because players just really like to play inside of the vents in these anti-eco and bonus and eco rounds. Simply, you know, go sideways into the smoke, into the smoke, be ready for a fight, clear this corner, because enemies can literally stand here without you seeing them, and then clear the rest of the vents. Okay, none of the enemies are here, no problem. We can wait for one of our smokes to recharge. We still have 1 shrouded step. We can go for some kind of an outplay. You know, we can jump spot the enemies on tower, clear this position, get into this corner. Okay, now we need to take the tower. No problem. We can do this smoke here to clear these angles, get into the smoke, sideways again. Bam. Bam. Like, you know, shorty is one of the best eco tools that you can use on this map to get some free kills in these eco rounds.
Alright.
And close the gap with the enemies. Is unranked suitable to learn new agents? Yeah, absolutely. But I think it is always the best idea for you to learn new stuff in ranked? Fuck you, just make a second account, you know, that you don't give a shit about, and learn new stuff. It's always the best practice.
Nice.
Because in unranked, players don't care, like, that much.
Okay.
Nice.
You see here, for an example, like, if you actually played the strat that we were talking about, trust me, you would have got at least one kill. Just look at this right now. I mean, I didn't watch this VOD, but I already know what's gonna happen. Especially because in the last round, what type of information you got about the enemies? So enemies are playing a 1-1-1-2 setup. You know, we know that one enemy is B, one enemy is tower, one is vents, and two are A. I mean, like...
I'm one ramp also. There's two on A.
Ooh, that was crazy.
Ramp, one
There's
ramp.
Motas.
Okay, let's talk about this play as well. This was actually really good from you. Really fucking good. Just small correction here. Like, when you're pushing this smoke, always be aware of this corner on the left side. Like, enemies can always stand instead of this spot and just chill here. No matter how you do this smoke, they can always be here. The second topic I want to discuss is that this play that you did here, you know, this suicide kamikaze rundown, fine. It's an eco round. We need to close the gap with the enemies. We need to play a bit more aggressive. This is how you should be playing eco rounds. Most of the time, but not always. But 60% of times, this is what you should be doing. So it's fine. It's actually pretty good.
One is ramp. One is
There's
ramp.
Motas.
Wait, let's just wait. Let's just wait.
There's
Freeze.
two here.
The only thing that I would change and do differently is I would give the spike to someone else, you know, before I go for these kamikaze shits, man.
Reach is B heaven.
I have a smoke if you want someone.
Not bad. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Yeah. Take your time. You know, you're Ascendant. Peak Immortal. Check these angles, you know, like always play Valorant by following the second most important rule. And the second most important rule is what? You always pre-assume that enemies can be anywhere and everywhere if you didn't clear a specific angle yourself. If you didn't see the enemies somewhere, or your teammates didn't check that angle, clear that angle with full focus and with the mindset, right now I'm gonna take a fight. Because how you clear these two angles here, I don't know, like, he was just like, who the fuck cares? Yeah, you know, like, enemies are probably not there. Or, very poor,
Play for
very
content
poor.
on me.
This as well. Like, do you know how many angles enemies can play here to fuck you up? And you're playing with a classic pistol. Okay, let's show you how we should have done this. So first of all, okay, our Sage is holding this. We don't know if the enemy is in the middle. We should be jiggle picking these off angles, checking this corner like this. Then we get in the middle of the stairs, checking these corners. That's it. Then we need to check this position. Jiggle in, jiggle out, jiggle in, jiggle out, jiggle in, jiggle out, jiggle in, jiggle out. We're not committing to any fight. Like, we don't know where the fuck are the enemies. essentially. Jiggle in, jiggle out. Be ready for both of these fights. And then we move forward. Checking this off angle. Jiggle in, jiggle out. Or peek together with your teammates and clear this. Get here, check this angle. Now we move forward. And also, always be aware that enemies can play the God angle. And the God angle is right here. So you should be pre-aiming that for your teammates as well. Especially if you're swinging the B tower, most of the times you want to check this position and then focus on the enemies here. But, yeah.
Wait, let's jet fake.
And also, how you should clear the angles in Valorant heavily depends on what type of weapons you have. You know, with a classic pistol, you always need to close the gap with the enemies as much as you can. Because the classic pistol bullet spread is ginormous. For an example, right now, you're taking a fight with this chamber that is there. Okay, so if I take that fight from this position here, that is the bullet spread. It is ginormous, essentially. Now, I'm taking that fight with the chamber from this position. It is slightly more narrow. Not slightly, it is like 30-40% more precise. And I was shooting my bullets all at the same spot. I was not moving at all, and I was resetting my shots. So, you really want, with a classic pistol, you really want to get in the anal cavity of the enemies as much as you can. Even if you're not gay.
Let's go back to jet.
Hey, come back.
But this is why, you know, in these rounds, if you're playing Omen or Movement Agents, you really want to, on these claustrophobic maps, try to play shorty even on the attacker's side. You know, like for example here, if you had a shorty, okay, we can just jump spot the enemies here. Aha, chamber is there, no problem. We do a trial and smoke, cover this angle, and this angle. Bam. Now we can try to walk into that smoke. Bam. And from here, that's it. Like a free kill for you, essentially. Maybe we can use fake shrouded steps to reveal the enemies. And then we take a free kill. We take a free weapon. And we can maybe win this round for our team.
Come back, come back.
You get in the anal cavities of your enemies, even if you're not gay.
Oh, my smoke is bad, my smoke is bad.
30 seconds left.
Jet is one screen, jet is one screen.
Nice. Nice.
Planting safe, planting safe.
Listen, if you're already planting safe, never plant the spike behind this pillar. Like, always make sure that the spike is visible from as many different corners as possible, you know. Plant the spike here, for an example. Because you can still see this spike from the rafters and tower. Plant the spike here, for an example. Look here, then look here, bam. You still see the spike from the tower. I mean, you're not gonna see this guy defusing the spike here, but you see if the spike is actually being defused. And we can still do some kind of an one-way to kill the guy defusing the spike. Or at the end of the day, just put it here. But, you know, doing this plant here, like, you're really conditioning your teammates to play from the site. Now in a 3v2 post plant, your number one priority is, the first question you ask yourself is, who the fuck should I play with? Who is in my team going to be the first contact with the enemies? And what the fuck I should do with my utility? We need to play with the Fade, essentially. And how do we play with the Fade here? We wait for the smoke. We smoke off the Fade and tower. Teleport on tower. And now from the smoke, we're waiting for the enemies. And together with the jet and Fade, we're taking the tower control. And then we can just focus on the enemies together if they're coming through the CT. But the worst thing we can do is playing out 1v1s.
Sheriff in main.
Flare left it. Chat is across.
Also, this is a really bad play. Mega bad play. Usually the best idea when you're playing post plant on the A site, you have no idea if the enemies are here in the CT. You know, you have no idea how much space enemies have taken here. And you have a close range weapon. Classic pistol, shorty, whatever. Stinger, back your judge. Do this type of a smoke. A trial and smoke. And play on this angle right here. And wait for the enemies. That's it. That's all you need to do. But we can also... You know, this is the reason why I would have played with my teammates on tower. Because in Ascendant and Immortal, you just don't know, like, with what type of animals you're gonna play. Like, this kill that you have taken here doesn't matter at all because two of your teammates died for no reason. And this spike plant that we did, this is gonna destroy us, man. Destroy us in this round. Like, imagine in this round, I don't know why you didn't plant the spike here. I mean, your Fade was tower, your Jet was ramp, we had a full control of this. I don't know what was the problem in your head to not plant the spike here. He's holding us, huh? Yeah, now he's gonna turn the focus. We are fucked. We are absolutely fucked. Plus, I mean, you also did the Shrouded Steps, and, you know, because of the Shrouded Steps, the Claw probably thought that you're coming from the elbow. I don't know, like, this spike plant destroyed us, like, in this round. But also, the decision making. Like, in a 3v2 post plant, like, just pinpoint one of your teammates that you want to play with, or play with the rest of the team, fuck it. You know, take the control of one area of the map and just fight together. End of the story. You will have higher chances of winning these rounds.
Nice try.
But a really good eco round.
All vents again.
Now, whenever enemies are playing a bonus round, eco round, or a hull by round on the defender side of split, you don't need anything here. You just do a 5-man push onto the A site if you're playing in the lobbies below Immortal 3. Period. Like, you will win 20% more anti-eco, anti-hull buy, anti-bonus rounds if you just do a 5-man push on A in these type of rounds. Like, in the lobbies below Immortal 3.
If you want.
Right now, what the fuck we're doing is mega retarded. Like, based on the enemy's economy, our economy, and enemy's team composition.
Maybe Omen, wait here and you flash.
Wait. I'm ready when you are.
Okay, listen. This play that you're doing right now, I would not recommend you to do it in the first 4 to 6 rounds of the match. The problem of this play in ranked solo queue, of this paranoia and this default play that you see in pro play and high-elo lobbies, is you're way too far away from the rest of your team. Like, as you're doing this paranoia, you have no idea what your teammates on mid are gonna do. And you need to have high levels of trust that your Fade, Jet, and Sage are not gonna die. And that they can actually use this paranoia to take the space. Much better idea, early on in a match, is to simply use a paranoia from here or from here. And you're taking the space together with your teammates instead of doing this specific play. This specific play, I would only recommend you in high-elo lobbies, if you're duo queue with someone that you can trust, or you already know that your teammates are good and you can trust them. But fundamentally, this play is terrible. I mean, generally, what we're doing on a macro level is terrible based on enemy's team composition and based on what type of round we're playing right now. Coach duos teams, in ranked solo queue, it doesn't matter if you're duo, trio, 4 queues, you know, like, you play the game in one specific way. I mean, one specific way with multiple different playstyles. When it comes to teams, no, I don't coach teams, like, I cannot bother with that. It takes too much work, too much patience. I invested 5 years studying the ranked solo queue and duo queue environment of Valorant. Like, I really don't want to invest another 5 years of collecting data in pro play and shit like that.
Yeah, Fade, can you dock? Can you dock inside heaven?
My smoke will fade in vent.
Go.
I flash.
You see, this is exactly what I was talking about. You cannot do this in solo queue. Like, first of all, in the first 4 rounds, you need to be the leader of your team. And you need to make some good macro callouts. If you're playing below Immortal 3. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, why are we taking the mid control? Second of all, you know, Cypher dead alone for no reason. One of our team is dead on mid. You're not there to support them. You cannot play like this the first few rounds of the match. Like, basically, where you should have been, as your teammates were taking the mid space, you should have been with them. You know, right here. Taking the space. And then we can just paranoid these positions in combination with this smoke and take the tower together. Okay, my teammates are dying from the vents. I'm ready to support them. I'm ready to fight with everyone. But this play here, you cannot do until your teammates show to you that they're actually good. XQC Charlatan, man. Like, that they're actually capable of using this piece of utility and taking the space alone.
2 vents.
Only one on site. One on site. Last is up on A.
Yeah, he was playing A.
Operator. We'll play together. He's operator.
Here also, you made a huge mistake again. Like, brother, you're 2 versus 1. We know that the chamber is the A player. Why the fuck are you on mid? You know, basically, as soon as you kill this enemy jet, and your jet was taking the spike, run, bro. Like, smoke off vents or B tower or CT, whatever. Plant the spike on B site and stick to the anal cavity of your jet. That's how we win this round.
Last is operator.
Like, why is Jet playing alone? And why are you playing alone as well? No reason. Plus, the guy has the operator. He hits 1 shot, easy refrag. He misses a shot, he's dead, like. And especially playing in this spot, like, you need to fix your positioning, man. Like, you cannot play alone here, where you have a chance of dying from 3 different angles in a 2v1 post plant. And your jet as well. Like, your jet can die from tower, from CT, from the B main. You can die from the tower, from the vents, from the mid push. Like, what? I eliminate some of these positions. Just play with your allies. It's simple as that, man. You don't need to complicate things. Yo, look at the jet. Madre mia. Mamma mia. He must be tower, like. I don't know. You know, pay attention on timings as well. But there's no way that... Yeah, you need to pay attention on timings, bro. Like, I mean, he was playing A site 30 seconds ago. Rather, if he wanted to go through mid, he would have been mid, like, I don't know, 15 seconds ago. But anyways, fundamentally how we played this was terrible. What we should have done in this round, very simple. We plant the spike here for the CT. We take the CT, we isolate 2 angles, and we play together on a refrag potential. In a 2v1 post plant on the B site, most of the times you just want to do this. End of the story. Open plant. Enemies cannot fuck us up in any specific way. We have a pure refrag potential. That's it. And we have only 2 angles that we need to look at that moment of time.
Try all
I'm
A.
a bit.
Okay, we want to go A. We started a bit late.
Elbow.
You know, try to not start so far away from your teammates, like so that they're not dying alone and you can actually refrag them, you know, like that would be great for the beginning.
Heaven. 3 guys.
Most of the times, like most of the times, like when you're starting towards A site, if enemies are aggressive on ramp or A main, simply throw a paranoia here, teleport here, take more space for your team, and then move in with your allies. Or paranoia the A main, push the enemies back, teleport here, and from this position try to take more space for your team. Like, I don't know why are you so late to play with your allies. Now, when it comes to your smoke setup, it's fine. Like, the only thing you should change here is, like, when you're doing the rafter smoke, just do it like this and like this. Now there's nowhere to teleport. This ultimate that you're using right now is just useless. Because your teammate on the site, one of your teammates just died in the Omen. There was maybe 2 or 3 enemies on the A site. Where the fuck are we gonna teleport? On the site. Like this did nothing for you. Essentially, you know, when your teammates want to do a famine execute on A, you start the round by, you know, holding this angle for 2-3 seconds, or this angle, trying to push the enemies back. Then you play with your allies, you know, once they cross this line here, you play with them and you move in. Then we give them the smokes. We do the paranoia for the elbow or backside, and then we TP somewhere on the site, clearing the elbow, clearing this. If you don't see any enemies and your teammates are pushing in, commit to the teleport, make the sandwich out of the enemies, and that's it. On the B side, it's also very simple. Your teammates want to do a farm and push. We hold a tight angle here. Our teammates are moving in. Smoke the tower. Smoke the CT. Paranoid the backside or the actual site. Teleport in this corner, and that's it. But if one of your teammates dies at the choke point and your execute gets stopped, that's it. We need to reset the round. Like, we cannot teleport because our teammates are not distracting the enemies on the site in order for us to commit to that teleport. And you already know that there is maybe 1, 2, 3 enemies on the site. So it is useless using our ultimate as a recon tool.
Elbow in heaven. 3 guys.
3 on A.
Go back, Seven.
So close.
Also, I don't know what you're doing here as well. Like, enemies so far in 3 rounds, they never lurked, they never flanked. Who the fuck are you waiting for and what are you doing? It is only the 4th round of the match. How can you trust this Fade and Cypher and Sage so much? It is Ascendant Elo, low Immortal. Like, 60% of these players are autopiloting 24/7. They don't give a fuck anymore. They lost the willpower to improve, willpower to grind the game. Like, when I was doing any series, whenever I was doing some kind, sorry guys, I can speak with a fucking gum in my mouth. Whenever I was doing some Iron to Radiant or, I don't know, Unranked to Radiant series, the worst elo and the worst ranks to play in were Ascendant and Low Immortal. Ascendant 1 to Immortal 2 is fucking hell. Absolute fucking hell. Like, these players can aim almost on a level of a Radiant player. Like, I say almost because, you know, some of these players, like 20% of them. Then, like, you have some players that are smart, some players that are mentally disabled, some players that are boosted, some bot accounts. Like, it is a living fucking hell. Especially because anyone can reach these lobbies as well. So, in the first 4 rounds, having a ranked team playstyle that you are doing here is a huge gamble. That is the first thing I would recommend you to change if you plan to move forward, like, in terms of your ranks.
Let's go back.
Like here, brother, I'm already with my Fade, with my Cypher. I'm fighting the enemy Clove, fighting the enemy Jet, taking the 8 tower control, which is really important on split. I take the 8 tower control. Now, round is winnable. We open up the space. Enemies are probably gonna make some kind of a mistake. And overpeak something. But here, like, you're holding a cross and just praying to God that Fade is gonna win this fight right now.
Try to go back, please.
And most of the times, the God is not gonna help you. What is tier 3 sub? How much is it? It is $60. You basically have the rank playbook. You have my support for 7 weeks through private messages after a VOD review. You get a guaranteed VOD and tracker review. You also get access to some of my private coaching videos. During the VOD review, if I figure out that I can share with you some of my training examples, you're also going to get some training for like 2 or 3 months. It is basically like a budget version of my one-time coaching, but a really budget version.
Have push mid, I don't know.
Chamber's up.
Play with Sage, like. She's peeking the angles, you're not with her. Madre mia. When it comes to your fundamental mistakes, the only thing I would focus on is better positioning and angle clearing. Like, those two things, you need to do something with it. Like, go in a custom server. It's not really a crosshair play, it's just angle clearing and positioning. The best way to fix this, custom server practice and a lot of deathmatch. Understanding, you know, okay, when I'm taking the mid space, for an example, and I'm here, like, I can die from the vents, I can die from here. So, I check this off angle first, then I pull myself back a bit, check the tower. Now from this position, I'm moving in, checking this off angle, but I'm hugging this wall. So I can check this as well. Now we check this. Then, if you're the last guy moving through the mail when we are taking the space on the tower, your crosshair is always placed at the vents, for an example. And as your teammates are taking the space on the B tower, you're instantly trying to take this cover so you don't die from an enemy that is doing this. Like, the whole point is, like, You don't want to stay in these crossfire setups, crossfire positions, for a very long period of time. And also, you don't want to... You need to clear them better. You need to move better through these positions. There's no easy way of fixing this. A lot of deathmatch during your ranked games, pay attention on this problem. In a custom server, you can maybe play some hide-and-seek gameplay with one of your friends, or you can simply work on this problem, you know, on your own. Because it is a very easy problem to fix. You know, like, just go in a custom server and try to... when I'm taking the mid space, we should be jump spotting this angle, or expecting the enemies here, 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 and here. Okay, now as I'm moving in, my crosser should be here most of the time. Then we have this position, this off angle. Now we need to clear the tower, check the off angle here, check the main... You get the point. You get the point. Have any of your students become esports players? Yes. And I still don't want to say who, because I don't like taking the fucking credits for anything. The only people that I promote, you know, like when it comes to players' progress and stuff like that, are the people that openly speak about my coaching. For an example, like, I don't know. I coach Prixie. He is like a semi-pro Dutch player, like he played in that CGN, I don't know, team and some other teams. Like, he's not bad, you know, the kid, he's still a kid, and he still has a long way to go. He's definitely gonna go pro one day, like, and probably be a VCT player if he continues playing the game and continues with his current mindset. But whenever someone publicly says, yeah, I got coached by CHARLATAN, he helped me, and, you know, I improved because of him. I mean, okay. Like, I screenshot that, and I put it on my Discord, on my portfolio, essentially. Like, but I don't know, like, I just don't, you know, at the end of the day, like, I'm just a fucking coach. You know, my job is to, first of all, analyze your problems, make you understand what type of mindset you should have to grow as a player, find some kind of a training and solutions for you, and make some kind of a training. You know, good training. And track your progress. Like, and adapt everything as you're going through different elos, different ranks. Like, at the end of the day, you are the guy that plays the game. You know, you're the one that needs to apply all of this shit, to grind, to invest the time, lose a bit of mental health as well, like, along the way. I'm not playing the game instead of you. What here is the person you won't say who? There is only one VCT Pro, only one, a Tier 1 Pro. And there's I don't know what you categorize as a Tier 2, Tier 3 literally, like, anymore. You know, like, Tier 2 would be like what? Challengers? And stuff like that, Ascension? I don't know, like, probably like 5 of them, like. But as I said, like, I have no fucking idea if I had any impacts on on their, like, improvement. Like, you can never tell. I mean, sometimes you can. You know, sometimes it is very easy to tell the player's progress. To tell the progress of a player. You know, if the player is like have improved because of a coaching, you know. But also there's a lot of times where I coach some very talented players, you know, some kids that, you know, if I just push them slightly, they're already fucking radiant. You know, there's a lot of young players that I've coached that are just mechanically insane, you know, and they're missing just a small tweaks, insta fucking radiant. But at the end of the day, I felt their talent, you know, like, I don't know, sometimes, but only sometimes, I can just feel that a player is fucking talent, you know, he is made for this, like, he is gonna be Radiant, he's gonna be a potential pro player in the future, maybe, who knows. I mean, you can never know if someone is gonna go pro, like, you need, like, 20% of luck, 20% of skill, 50% power of will, and 10% like networking. And yeah, I forgot how the song goes. Angle clearing 0 points. Like, for example, look at this. And positioning. Like here, you're pre-aiming enemies. You're pre-aiming enemies on the ropes. What? You know, the chances of this guy killing you is 50%. You know, let's call it 50%. It's a generous, you know, it's Valorant. But chances of this guy killing you is like 100%. So if like we're already clearing this angle, our crosser should be ready for the enemies on rafters. When are you posting new Yoru video? New Yoru video next month. And that is the last one on Yoru. The last one in the Yoru series. But there is a very high chance that I'm gonna do Jet to Radiant, Yoru to Radiant, Raze to Radiant, and Omen to Radiant as well. We'll see about that. Charlatan did not see any potential when coaching me. I'm not that guy. Are you the Shadow? I don't really remember anymore. Like, literally, I coach so many players. Do you only coach high-ranked players? No. Like, I coach everyone. Like, I don't know. Sometimes it's Iron, Gold, Bronze, Immortal 3, like... the most amount of players I coached are the players that are in between silver and Ascendant. I mean, that's a really high specter, but you know, gold to Ascendant. Gold to Ascendant is an average player that I coached. But I don't give a fuck about your rank right now. You're gonna get better anyways. Generic agent, ISO to Radiant. He gave up on coaching me, LMAO. let's look at this one, man. Like,
Nice.
that jump spotting mechanic, Breach need to teach us something. Paranoia?
30 seconds left.
Smokes. This teleport here, mega fucking dangerous. You have no idea. Where is the jet? Where is the chamber? Before you did this teleport, you should have at least closed off the city as well. But anyways, I don't know why would you teleport here, like, your teammates are still fighting on tower. Please, especially if the enemies are close. And, you know, they hear your footsteps. Try to mask them with the gunshots. Especially if you're dropping in and trying to close the gap with the enemies like this. Like, for example, you know, right now, if I'm CT and I hear this, well, okay. The guy's probably gonna push me. I'm waiting for you. I'm expecting you in the smoke. But if you do this, you know, I have no fucking idea. Or even better, if you just walk off, I have no idea. Like, I don't know what the fuck was that bullet for. I mean, a high elo player is gonna pre-assume that you dropped with that bullet. But I highly doubt that, you know, I played in Ascendant and Low Immortal a lot of times. Not that these players, they don't. Their brain is like working at 20% capacity. They're just, you know, they're just aiming essentially. And now, yes, we need to go for some aggressive play and try to isolate the enemies alone because we are in the numbers disadvantage.
7.
Very good smoke as well.
on backside.
Listen, okay. We have all of the info that we need. Chamber backside. Jet is on tower. You have two options. Because we don't have that much time. Option number one. Fake shrouded steps. To make the enemies think we went somewhere. And then we peek. And also we can reveal the enemies with a shrouded step from the smoke. Option number two. Real shrouded steps behind this box here to isolate 1v1 fights.
50p.
And we decide for the option number 3. Just swing it! Yay. Against the chamber with the operator. Love it. Okay. We know the chamber plays op 24/7. I don't know what the enemy's economy in this round. Just a moment. Enemies. Chamber is probably gonna get that operator. Probably, because he played operator in the 3rd fucking round. So, if we wanna push A, if we wanna push B, we need to be ready for the aggressive peak in both of these areas. Option number 1. Fade, brother, please do the doggy dog and put immediately as the round starts and push that chamber or whoever the fuck is here back. Option number 2. Fade doesn't want to listen. By a paranoia, push him back yourself. Option number 3. Get some one-tap weapon. Sheriff. I don't know. We're playing an eco round. Like, how much money we have? We have money to force the sheriff. Hold the chamber and pray for the best.
Then fall near me. I dropped the spike. I dropped the spike.
Push right.
I like what you're doing here, but when you're doing this strategy that you want to do right now, you need 2 smokes and 2 shrouded steps. Yes, we're playing an eco round, and in an eco round, one of the best plays that you can do, I mean, not only eco, you can do this in full buy rounds as well. 2 smokes, 2 shrouded steps. First smoke on tower. Second smoke here. We teleport inside of this smoke, and from this smoke, we can TP here, 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 there. We can also teleport inside of this smoke as well. If you are playing some eco round and you want to risk it a bit more. But with one shrouded step, I don't know what the fuck are we gonna do.
Looks fine.
Evan.
Listen, if you want to teleport over the sage wall, like, you need to play a bit wider. Like, just play from this position. Do the TP from here. That is the only way to teleport above the sage wall. But, I mean, like, just look at this.
Looks fine.
Look at this wall, man. Like, what the fuck is this, bro? Like... But if you want to teleport above this wall, you need to be further away.
Evan.
I'm gonna plant the spike. Listen, man, like, in these eco rounds, if enemies are already not pushing you, plant the spike, fuck it. Like, you get 200 credits for your team, get the ultimate points, and that's it. Like, in eco rounds are the only rounds where you should be, like, willing to die while you're planting the spike. Because most of the times you need to win these rounds based on the spike detonation and timer running out, and that's it. Also, I mean... I know what type of setup he wanted to use. I know what he wanted to do, but you just need to practice this in a custom server, you know? Like, this TP setup that you wanted to use in this round would have been amazing. You would have gotten 1 kill minimum. And maybe even, you know, give your teammates higher chances of winning this round. But, we wasted shitloads of time.
I play.
Like, if we're holding this alone, we should do it only in 2 ways. Number 1, a tight pixel angle, as tight as your reaction time allows you. Number 2, hiding here and trying to surprise enemies with a peek from the left side. Wait for 1.5 seconds. Be ready for a fight. Option number 3 does not exist. And this is the option number 3. Option number 3, really fucking bad. You cannot die here. Like you cannot hold this angle in a way where you commit to the fight. Especially if you're playing default on the map. Like, holding this peak here, very fucking good. Very fucking good. Because Chamber is usually a B player. They probably didn't push us in the last round because we were playing an eco halberd round and there was no reason to push us. And we could have seen in some of the previous rounds that enemies like to play more aggressive towards the main areas of the map. But this B-man peak, we cannot hold like this because you're committing to the fight way too much. Either you should be peeking that chamber with your peeker's advantage, or we should be holding a tight angle, or we're just fighting for 1 bullet burst fire and we can reset the fight. Let me see what's gonna happen. Okay, we have a Sage ult. But also we have another macro problem here, like, and what is the macro problem? Why the fuck are we playing default so early on split against this enemy team composition? Like, I don't know, like, when enemies don't have a, you know, initiator that is playing a site, and enemies don't have the hardcore sentinel, such as Vise, Killjoy, and Cypher, a site is kinda free. Maybe not, but it is your best gamble in the first few rounds. Your teammates cannot make that many mistakes. You can correct a lot of the mistakes. As an Omen player, you have like 10 different outplays on the A tower and A site. And we can learn and adapt how enemies are playing that area of the map. But defaulting so early on, I mean, like, that's not a good idea. Against this team comp.
Nice.
Where is everyone hiding?
Going fast, going fast. On CT already. All 3 CT, all 3 CT.
It's you and me.
I got assaulted.
Actually, you know, here you should have taken more space. You should have taken much more space in this round. You know, your Sage walled off the CT. You know that the breach is in the CT, and he cannot push this Sage in time. Enemy ISO ulted your Cypher on A tower. You should have tried taking more space, like right here, and guarding the body of the ISO. Probably, you're gonna end up in some kind of a fight with the enemy Sage, but if you kill the Sage, then we also have a free kill on the ISO. You should have taken more space, at least in this example. And now, especially because you know, your fate is AFK, we're 2 versus 3, we need to do something. Like, you should have tried to fight the enemies on the A tower. Because right now, if we get stuck
40.
here, we're absolutely fucked. Absolutely.
One heaven.
Fade, hello. TV3.
2 people.
And we're absolutely fucked.
We always die 1 by 1. Boost plant.
Which sentinel would you recommend for split? But both, every sentinel has its like role, power, you know, specific playstyle that you can abuse on split. Killjoy is good. Cypher is. If I have to choose one, I would always choose the Cypher. Myself. Because on both an attackers and defenders side, you can play super aggressive with the cages, with the smokes. I mean, smokes are really powerful, you know?
Like we just keep peeking and then I don't know why. They walk out to 3 and we pick 1 by 1.
Allow you to be versatile.
Their shit just...
Chamber peeked here.
Let's
And
push again, B.
he crouched. He peeked and crouched.
Listen, if you decide to play in main Omen, first smoke should always be a default smoke. When you're going for the aggressive plays with the Omen, first smoke is the smoke for your teammates. And the second smoke is the smoke for your play, outplay, or whatever the fuck you want to do. So if you want to do this aggressive play, where we smoke the boxy box and the tower, we smoke the tower first, or the CT, I don't know, like, depends. And then, the second smoke is always the aggressive smoke. Why? So that enemies cannot prepare for our aggressive setup. Like, when you do this smoke first, enemies in low elo and medium elo lobbies have more time to think. And basically, in those 2-3 seconds, they can be like, okay, maybe he's gonna teleport. And they're gonna realize. You know, one of the main things that you can abuse as an Omen player in low and elo medium lobbies is players' decision making is always lagging for like 2 to 3 seconds. And when you're playing Omen, that means that the time distance between your setup and your aggressive teleport cannot be above second or second and a half. So, as when you're executing B side, smoke, out. So basically, there was like 1.5 seconds approximately between this smoke appearing and my teleport, and I'm instantly ready for a second TP. Another tip. Yes, you can teleport above this sage wall. Yes, you can do it. You need to play further back, and the crosshair placement is also important. You can go in a custom server with one of your friends, like, he can simply put a wall for you here, and you just practice this teleport. You just need to aim, you know, on a very specific height. I don't really know where, because this is kinda on an auto-pilot mode for me. I've done this teleport like 1,000 times. You know, even on my Twitch channel, this specific play is my trailer for the Twitch channel, essentially. You know, it's something that I was the first one doing. At least, the first time I saw this type of a play was in my videos. So, just, you know, you can do it. You just need like a specific crosshair placement. You cannot aim this high, and you cannot position yourself right here. Also, teleporting on top of the wall and then dropping down with this one-way smoke, an absolute fucking suicide. Also, this smoke setup that you did, it's okay. You know, it's a hull by, force by round. As long as we don't teleport in this second smoke, it's fine. You know, like, you can create this type of a setup where you put a smoke here and here, but you cannot teleport inside of this smoke. I would always teleport outside of it somewhere. I didn't even see that. You know what's funny? He actually teleported... He teleported 2 meters. For
One on smoke.
We have no trap for flank, right?
He's on side!
One enemy remaining.
Top player.
Yeah. Very good, very good, very good. This should be an easy round. Yeah.
Fade ult up.
Good ending of the round. I don't know. As I said, like, against this specific team composition, it is a crime against humanity to not abuse the fireman executes. Like, how the fuck are these people gonna stop your executes? Like, they have a jet team, you know, they need to hit the shots, and you have a Omen Paranoia, Fade Dog, Fade Reveal, Cypher Camera, like, good luck. Listen, you need to move with your teammates as you're placing your utility with Omen. You know, that's another thing you should focus on if you decide. If we decide that you should main Omen. Like, right now, you should not be here. You know, like, right now he's placing his utility from this position. You need to be here. And move with your teammates. Use them as a meat shield. And play with them. As you're doing, you know, Smokeroni. And then we drop a Paranoimus Rex on the site, back site, or here, depending where you think enemies are at that moment of time. Where are you?
The flash side.
I feel that during the executes, you're over-focusing on planting the spike. Zero Finger, welcome, man. Give this job in the hands of your teammates, bro. Give the spike to your fucking Sage, bro. Like, you should be the one taking the space. You should be the one fighting the enemies. You know? You should be the one... You should be a commander, bro. Lord Command... Like Jon Snow, man. You know? You should not be the fucking, I don't know, like, Queen of Dragons getting anally fucked by the, yeah. Moral of the story is like, okay, it's very good, you know, especially in low elo lobbies, you should carry the spike, obviously, as you're doing some 5-man pushes. But as you're taking the space on the site, especially if you're going in second or first, drop the spike to your teammates and just focus on taking the space, you know. You should be teleporting here from this position, contesting the enemies with the rest of your team. Then we should be maybe taking more space from the enemies. Like, fuck this shit, man. Like, let your Sage do that instead of you. And anyways, even if you have the spike, focus on like, planting the spike is your last priority in Valorant. In the rounds where you're not in some kind of a disadvantage. We're playing the full buy rounds. We're equal in numbers. Finish every fight on the site. And then plant the spike. If an enemy jet is already above you, killing and fighting your teammates, you should be ready to fight with your teammates. Period. Once we clear everything, everything is silent, then we plant the spike.
Heaven.
Enemy removed.
Your jet maybe didn't have to die. You know? Maybe you could have killed the enemy jet before your jet died. But we will never know that because, yeah. Giraffe Finger, thank you for the Prime Gaming Summon and thank you for scamming El Jeff Bezos.
But I flank up, I flank up.
Under heaven one.
I don't know why you're watching the flank. We have a Cypher tripwire and it looks pretty good. Like, instead of watching for the flank, right now you should be asking yourself, how the fuck can I support this Cypher? Because he is deep into the enemy's anal cavity. But now, since the Cypher got 2 kills, you're just asking yourself, how can we close this round in the most painless way possible? And the answer is, what? We play around this pillar. Why? We can fight with the Fade, we can fight with a Sage. We should not be in the B main. And the spike is not even placed for the B main.
One enemy remaining.
You know, the only reason why like actually we're gonna talk about this like at the end of this VOD review.
Play Cypher.
I want to talk about his main agents and stuff like that, but
Cypher, trap, please.
we'll talk about that later.
Page.
Whenever you're pushing B side of split, we start by either holding this angle with our teammates or going here and we are ready to counter the enemies like this. Does any of your students play Cypher? I only see 2 Cypher VOD reviews. But you know, players that are following my content, they usually follow my tier list as well. And 80% of players that I coach are Omen, Jet, Raze, Yoru, Clove, Phoenix Chamber. That's 80% of my coaching, essentially. But I had one guy, like, he was maining Cypher. No, not one guy. I did coach, like, a lot of, privately. A lot of the Cypher players, like, there is one guy called Death. I think that's his name. He went from Bronze to Ascendant 1 with Cypher. And why we stick with the Cypher is because his mechanical skill is like, you know, like, was not that good at all. And it was really, he's also older. I think he was like 35 or something. And I just thought that Cypher is a bit better for him. Cypher and Omen, you know, those 2 agents. And he went from Bronze to Ascendant 1 in, you know, really, like 3 months, 4 months, something like that. It was really, really fast.
You dock inside.
But usually it's, you know, like, Omen, Raze, Jet, Chamber. Yeah, a bit of Neon as well. Yoru.
Maybe inside smoke.
Oh, jab push, flank, right here.
Okay, so how this execute should look like. You are moving together with your teammates. Bap. Why is that important? Because when you do the ultimate, and if the enemies cancel your ultimate, you're not here, you're here. And you can still TP in and support your teammates. So, we're moving here, bap. While we're moving, bap, we are doing the smokes. Bap. Before the ultimate, we're using Paranoia. Why? To support ourselves and our teammates as well. Then we use the ultimate. While you're using the ultimate, if you don't see any enemies here and here, you can commit to the ultimate. And we can make the sandwich out of the enemies. If you think that your teammates are not gonna move through this smoke, they're gonna bait the shit out of you, commit to the ultimate if you're playing some eco round, hull by round, or you're in some kind of a disadvantage. If none of this applies, cancel the ultimate. Here, we should have done the paranoia on the site. We should have used the ultimate from this position in the B-main. And we should have done, and we should commit to this ultimate. Why our Cypher died on mid? We need to do something now.
You're right,
Go back, go back.
I'm on side. Oh no.
Yeah.
It's one more
Let's
mid,
just
one more mid. I saw.
We can fake rotate and after that we go B again. Just stay there.
Oh, yeah, I saw.
They will clear me.
Brother, you should marry this box. Like this box here. You should kiss it a lot of the times, man. What can I DM you for coaching and prices? You don't need to DM me at all. Like on my Discord server, you have a text channel called Book a Session. Everything is explained there. Coaching, prices, how it works, lifetime support, and all of that shit. Once you read all of that and you decide what is the best thing for you, then you DM me and, you know, we can figure out things for you.
Better.
I'm really sorry, but I really don't want to make a website for fucking coaching. I mean, I'm gonna make a website, but there will never be an option to buy a coaching on the website. I don't know, I like a bit more personal approach. I want to know who the fuck you are. How old are you? Where are you coming from? What do you think that your problems are? To meet you a bit, you know, like, to see. Like, I don't know, I can automate, like, you know, all of the things. All of the things that I do can be automatic. But you kind of lose that personal touch, you know, like, for example, I can also hire, like, 10 other Radiant players to coach instead of me. But what the fuck? Like, what is the point then? Like, why the fuck are you're not buying my coaching, man? I'm just like, what? You know? I don't know, I don't like that. You know, and that's a huge problem. Because I'm wasting a lot of time on... I could be earning much more, to be honest. But I don't know. I like to... If you're buying coaching from me, you're buying coaching from me. Like, you're not buying coaching from like... I don't know. Someone else.
I suppose mid also.
Go big, go big.
Listen, what you did after that breach kill... absolutely fine. Everything... you could not have played it any better.
Nice.
Nice.
Another one here, I guess. I'm not.
But, after these 2 kills, there was no reason to give enemies additional space. You took 2 kills. We can jump spot the enemies and wait for our teammates to rotate. I don't know. You were at the perfect spot. Just bop, 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 bop. I loved getting my coaching. I like getting to know my coach. It's a very personal experience, so I don't think a website suits charlatan style. I know. I don't know. Like, I'm gonna make a website just to promote the coaching, like, to promote my Discord server. But you're never gonna buy the coaching through the website. Compec's coaching is unbelievably expensive. I don't know. Like, I don't know, like, how good is someone else coaching. Like, I never got... Maybe I should make some kind of a series where I actually test everyone else private coaching. I buy coaching from Trick Aim, from Compeki, from... I don't know, like, from... Joel's. Like, I don't know who else is coaching. And I test everyone. And I tell you, like, who is worth it, who is not worth it. Because I really have no idea, man. What others are doing. I know that Compeki has some IRP, like, Immortal Roadmap, something like that, but... That's everything that I know. Oh, hell no, not the Joels.
Split. They don't know the meaning of the word. ultimate is ready.
30 seconds left.
But if I make that type of series, I need to pretend that I'm missing something specific, you know. Like for example, I hire some coach and I don't look at the minimap ever. I literally hide my minimap. And I just play based on my, I don't know, nothing essentially. Or, I don't know, like, for example, like, my raw mechanics are bad, but my cross replacement is good. But we'll figure it out, like, it can be fun. It can be fun.
Sure.
Yeah, it's okay.
Don't give enemies the space that you have already taken for your team.
Wait, I smoke.
I'm walling.
Wait, I go first. Wait.
Unless enemies are destroying your anal butthole. I mean, there's only one anal butthole. With their utility.
If you have spike,
Heaven.
Player standing.
if you have spike,
Heaven.
If you didn't give the additional space, you would have known that the enemy clove is on the tower or on the site. You would have been ready to fight this clove together with your teammates.
Player standing.
I go first. Wait.
I don't know. I just don't understand like why your team has decided to go onto B and you just gave all of the space to the enemies. Which is your favorite knife skin? 2022 Karambit. Absolutely. IRP is okay. Did you try it? Did you buy that shit? But it's like what you discussed earlier. You're not getting Kompeki coaching because it's run by multiple people. You're getting multiple different people's input. I have no idea. Literally, like for example, if I go to the gym and I want to be coached in the gym, I want to get coached by one guy, you know, one ripped fucking motherfucker, you know, that is gonna make out of me a machine. For an example. Also, one more tip when you're playing Omen. If you have shrouded steps, try to always peek the enemies from multiple different angles instead of peeking enemies from the same angle from which your teammates are peeking. Like for example, if your teammates are taking the space on the B side here, like this, and they're doing this peek, you know that the backside is clear. Do this teleport. Your teammates peek. You peek together with them. Like, always try to create multiple different angles from which enemies can die. From which you can surprise the enemies.
if you have spike.
Other than that, like, you lost this round. I don't know why you gave the... You took 2 kills on B side. And you give the space to the enemy team. You'll never do that. You know, just try to survive, jump spot the enemies, and wait for your teammates to rotate.
Walked up, I saw.
I will take it. I can flash tower if you want.
Yes. Inside smoke. 2 guys here.
Third party Real. Is Kompeki's coaching more expensive than mine? That's impossible. Like, I already think that my coaching is... You know... I think that I will never upgrade my prices ever fucking again. You know, like... There's nothing else that I can improve. You know, there's only maybe like 10% more things that I can improve in my coaching, and that's it, like... What? Is he charging, like... $1,500 for coaching? Like, I don't know, man, like...
I'm open.
Yes.
$2,000 for the 6-week program. What the fuck am I doing, man? Like, $2,000 for the 6-week program. Split into 4 payments. Brother. Like, let me cry. Let me cry. Bro, in 2020 and 2021, I was charging like $30 for 90-minute session. Like $2,000. Bro, like tomorrow I'm gonna, I don't know, $5,000 coaching. Fuck it, like. What the fuck?
Inside.
I will take it.
If your teammates are bad and they prove to you that they're bad, you cannot trust them. They're fucking shit. Don't do the plays like this. Follow your teammates, play with them, and do the paranoia. Like, do the paranoia on the go. You cannot do this if your jet is already a monkey.
I can flash
We talked about this like in one of the previous rounds. Like,
tower if you want.
Yes.
I can flash tower if you want, but sorry, like I'm not. Yeah, you should be with the jet there. You know, clearing the smoke, taking the mid control, and then we do the paranoia, improvised paranoia for tower.
Inside smoke. Two guys here.
How do you like? We're losing 3-6. Our teammates are terrible. Like, terrible. Literally really bad. And you're trusting these guys to take the mid control for you and to survive for this type of a play. Good luck. You know, in the lobbies in which I play, sure, fine. You can gamble on it. But in... Don't get any ideas?
Vent.
But one thing that is mega criminal in this match is how much we didn't push the A site against this team comp. Criminale.
2, 3.
Okay, the end of this round was just aim labs, but as I said, like we talked about this at the start of this VOD review, you need to have some kind of dedicated warm-up. I've already noticed like 2 or 3 raw mechanical problems that you have, and I will share with you some 20 minutes warm-up routine, and that's it. Because this guy doesn't have enough time to play the game. You know, he only plays around 30 to 40 hours per act, so he only has time to do the warm-ups. So at least let's do that properly.
3. No.
We are adapting. AI advanced. AI advanced. Very good, man. If you were playing like this the whole match, amazing, bro.
Bend.
Oh, this is really good, bro. Like, why don't you play like this at the start of the game? Like more aggressive with different setups. Like, what did you what? Like, listen, you wanna play Omen as a support? I just noticed my TV turned off. Once like you can trust your teammates. Like, you know that your teammates are mega good and they will do the job for you. But this is how you want to play the Omen in the first 4 to 6 rounds. Really nice. The only thing that we should do right now is get the fuck down. We are 4v4, we don't need to be here alone. Especially after that failed fight on the breach, you should have dropped down and reset yourself. There's no reason to fight anymore. One fight, okay, we don't get a kill. Reset yourself, 4v4, we win this round together. Like, you need to have some stopping points when you're playing Omen in an aggressive way. You know, we have a numbers advantage, we're equal in numbers, we planted the spike, like, just play with your most aggressive teammates, you know, like, or play a bit safer. Don't commit to the 50-50 fights. DM me later, I can try and give you a bit more. Yeah, sure, we're gonna do that. If Chamber doesn't peek a B-main area of the map with the operator in this round, I'm gonna chop my balls and eat them on stream right now. Whenever I said it, it didn't turn out well.
You want to play? Let's play.
Thank you, God. Thank you, Chamber. Thank you, Chamber, man. When it comes to Omen, you just need a bit more practice, you know, repetition, custom server, like, and stuff like that. It's not that you don't understand what to do, you just don't understand the order of your utility, how fast you should do it, and that's basically it. Order of utility and speed is what's fucking you up. But the only way to get better with that is by repeating this plays over and over and over again in your ranked games, unranked matches, swift play, and a custom server. Is the person you're VOD reviewing right now in the chat? No, he's not. Hello? Ooh, there's a gap!
Heaven.
As I said, try to, when you're playing Omen, use your shrouded steps to, I don't know why I showed you middle finger, sorry chat, my bad. Like, when you're playing Omen, try to be more unpredictable with your peaks. You know, TP on the opposite side, wait for your team, you know, like, your teammates are pushing from one angle, right here, like TP there, and then your teammates peek, you peek together with them. Enemy needs to play aimless and flick left and right. But if you only peek from this position, you can also line up for that enemy and, yep, die. My God. He is truly the AI. He's finally, like, it just takes him like 12 rounds to start playing better. Very good, man. Very good. Baiting the spike plan because enemies can be close. Breach use the ultimate, you know, the aftershock. Enemies can be anywhere. We should not be committing to the spike plant. If we play like this, like how you play the last 2 rounds, if you play the whole match like this, 12-0. Maybe not 12-0, but at least it will be 6-6. Now we're playing the spike. We can commit. We don't need to teleport, we can just play with our teammates. Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay, we're gonna sum things up at the end of this VOD review. Like, first we're gonna take a look at his defender side, and then we're gonna do some summary of everything that he should do better, and also what type of, you know, which agents I think will suit him the best. Okay. Okay, now here we are on a defender side of Splinteroni. First of all, A site is your default site. Number 1 priority. Second of all, B site, secondary priority. But Split is a fast rotation map in ranked solo queue. You don't give a fuck about A site and B site defense. What does that mean? That means that you should never fucking commit to some 50-50 fight on A and B that you cannot escape. Your main priority is playing on a refrag potential, playing with your teammates, trading each other's out, supporting your allies, and defending the motherfucking B tower and A tower. So if enemies are splitting B site or A site, prioritize yourself on helping your teammates here and here primarily. The only times when it is worth it for you to die defending the bomb sites alone is when you're playing like a kamikaze, Japanese, 1944, brother. You know? With a shorty, Judge, Bucky. You're trying to trade yourself for the kills. And that's it. And from the first full buy round, we should be playing a semi-aggressive playstyle, getting the information about the enemies in A main, B main, and mid area of the map every fucking round, getting the early info, potentially getting a pick with the operator, with the dead zone mechanic, crouch peek, and then positioning on some secondary, common, or off angle. Done. First round, we always gamble on A site. Second round, we always gamble on B tower. Why on the B tower? Because whenever enemies are eco, hull buy, bonus, or force buy on the attacker side, chances are 80% or higher that enemies will do something like this. That basically the first contact between yours and enemy team is gonna happen in these two areas of the map. With Omen, in the first round, classic pistol shorty strategy, nothing else. Classic light shield, one shot a step with a shorty, or classic shorty, two smokes, paranoia, one shot a step. At the start of the round, pick up the shorty, listen to the enemy's footsteps. If the enemies are coming, drop their smoke, and fuck them up through this cubby position as they're moving in. Then you can pick up the classic pistol, TP into the enemy smoke, and keep the tower control. Or, from the rafters, we can support our teammates. Or, if you feel a bit ballsy that day, after a kill, we can paranoid the rest of the enemy team here, and try to go for an extra aggression. But, in the first round, I will not do this. Like, if I get a kill in the smoke, it's much better that I go into the enemy smoke, or I just scoot the fuck away somewhere else to fight with my teammates, or to take a better angle to fight the rest of the enemy team. Enemies are avoiding you here. They're not pushing through this mode, they're going tower. Instantly teleport with a classic pistol and be ready to fight with your teammates. Enemies are going B or through mid, support your teammates with the smokes, and rotate fast through the CT area of the map. That's it. Let's see what our friend is gonna do. Starting in events in the first round, when you have the Sage in the team that is walling off the mid area of the map. Who would not have... There's no way we could have played this worse, essentially. I don't know, at least here, I would have communicated with my Sage brother, just wall off the B tower. I'm gonna fuck up the enemies with a shorty in the vents. You want the enemies to come. You know? You want the enemies to come. There's a whole point of a classic pistol shorty strategy. Like, you want enemies to come into this shorty, so that you put it inside of their fucking anal cavity and you split it apart, you know? You split it fucking apart, man. Like you know, Johnny Sins, bro. Like, sorry, too graphic. By the way, here we should have done the smoke. Like, we heard the enemies pushing A site. We should have done the smoke for our fade already, and our Cypher should have a default smoke for the A main area of the map. Once again, we should have done the smokes for both A main and A ramp. You heard the enemies long time ago. Also, one more tip. Please, for the love of fucking God, if you're playing Omen, look at your paranoia in a 4-dimensional way. You know? You know? Like don't be like a 1-dimensional player. Don't be a 1-dimensional player. Like for an example, if enemies are pushing the ramp and you're starting in the vents, pull that fucking paranoia, man, like, and support your teammates. Blind the enemies. Take the kills, bro. People are getting tips from Ascendant. Brother, the rank of this player that we are reviewing is Ascendant 2. I'm a 23-time Radiant player in Valorant, unfortunately. Now, think Martin, just watch your recent video, Papito. Brother, like, I think it was nice. I think that Frost did a really good job with that new video. I need to give him a raise, but I cannot. Nor I will.
Heaven, maybe. Already having a.
Listen, man, like, you need to be a bit more generous when it comes to these smokes and utility. Like, whenever you can support your teammates with anything, support them. You know, like, what the fuck is the point of you buying a Paranoia and 2 smokes if you're not going to use them for your allies that are getting swarmed on the A tower, Amen, etc, etc. And I would never like play this classic shorty, like, just play classic shorty, either in Amen area of the map, or on the A ramp, right here, and, you know, like, based on what the enemies are doing, adapt the play, adapt the strategy, adapt your positioning, utility usage, and that's it. Like, gamble on the A set in the first round. Like, B set is at least 5 times easier to be retaked than A set of split. Poor Frost.
Heaven, maybe. Already having a.
How to do that Melee dash? Why I cannot do it? You mean the super dash? Don't even bother learning that. That is gonna be patched in. Maybe it's already patched. I think it is patched already.
Oh, you smoke.
Spike planted.
Behind.
One enemy remaining.
Paranoimus Rex.
Smoke in 10.
Paranoimus Rex. Paranoimus Rex. Okay.
Nice. Well played, guys.
Okay. Listen, I mean, like, during your gameplay on both attackers and defender side, very rarely, you know, I mean, I know that you're not really an Omen main, and that you don't have a main agent, like, and the whole point of this VOD review that you wanted to do was for us to find a main character for you. Like, but with Omen specifically, like, you're never really using your utility to take the fights with the enemies. You're never using your utility to outplay the enemies, to fuck them up, like you're just taking the 50-50 duels left and right without actually creating some kind of an outplay setup. And if you want to play like that, and considering that you have a limited playtime, probably, like, you know, the best agents for you would be like someone like Chamber, Raze, someone more simple, but it is also a hyper carry in ranked solo queue. We'll see, like, this is just the first round of defense, it doesn't matter that much. Now, in the second round of defender side of split, no matter if you win or lose the first round, you always start on the B tower. Well, always. Second round, you start on the B tower. That's it. Chances are 80% that the first contact between yours and enemy team is gonna happen here or here. And you need to be tower. Now, options, buy options, many. We can buy the Outlaw with some shield and some utility, lock in the mid, get some free kills, get onto an off angle such as this one, get more free kills, play with your teammates, that's it. Option number 2, Marshall with a shield. We're saving more money to buy the Operator in the 4th or 5th round. Stinger, heavy shield utility. Bait the enemies with a classic pistol, fuck them up with a Stinger in a close range. Same shit we can do with the Judge. It really doesn't matter. But if you lose the first round, no problem. Classic shorty strategy. We bait the enemies with a classic. Come, guys. We do the smoke. Pick up the shorty. And now we can fuck up the enemies through the smoke. And play like a 1944 kamikaze. Whatever you want to do, it's really up to you. You know, whichever strategy you feel works better for you. But just don't play on a fucking A site in the second round.
Do something? I heard B main steps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ooh. Listen, man, like whenever you're doing the Omen smokes, basically like you know, you're executing the site, you are taking the space, you're rotating. Like I'm never looking on my screen. You know, when I'm doing this smoke in this shadow form, I'm never looking on my eyes are not on the screen. My eyes are on the minimap. So I see where I'm running at, and when I navigate the smoke on the minimap, approximately where that smoke should be, then I look at the screen to micromanage that smoke and put it as a precise smoke. So while I'm doing this, minimap, 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 aha, I'm there. Now I just want to micro correct it. Bam. I'm out. Obviously, like in the game, this is much faster, but that is the mechanic that you should learn, essentially, like, and how you should be placing this utility.
They walk back, don't peek. Spike trap.
80 on the chamber.
So that on the minimap you can also focus on your movement and you don't get bugged out by the walls and shit like that.
Oh, if
And remember, whenever enemies are eco hull by bonus, some kind of a shit like that, on attacker side of split, fuck the map control. Just play with your teammates, play on a refrag potential, and that's it.
it. Stay, Omen, stay.
Yeah, I just have to look up ramp.
Hilf mir nicht, Schild.
I don't know, like in this round you're having a lot of trust into your team, you know, you're trusting your teammates a lot. Basically, like, I don't know. You should have started on the B tower. We should have been there to support our teammates. When enemies started pushing B side, we should have rotated immediately. Fuck it, like fuck the A side, fuck everything. Just pay attention to the lurks and flanks. Play retakes together. I don't know. Like you know, our teammates didn't play that well on the attacker side. They were actually really bad. How can you trust them on defense as well? And generally speaking, like even if your teammates are really good on the attacker side, when there is a half, you never know. Your teammates in one half they can be 10s, in the second half they're 11s, bro. You know?
30 seconds left.
Please, you know. Here for an example, like why are you shifting? Why are you shifting? You already made footsteps. Enemies already heard you. You should have shifted here. But I don't know why you made a footstep down there, like down in the vents. Why did you reveal your position?
One smoke.
The smoke is fine for the beam and it's okay. Nice jump spot. Very nice.
10 seconds left.
Please, just learn that mechanic, you know, like when you're going down the ropes. It is much faster, much more efficient, like hold shift, press C at the bottom, continue shifting and go down. Like you don't need to make a sound, you know, like this, or I don't know, like do all of this like an imbecile. Like just hold shift, press E at the bottom, continue holding the shift and W key and go down.
10 seconds left.
Don't be like me, man. Like, you know, I've been an imbecile for like 4 years. I've been using ropes wrong.
One enemy remaining.
Okay. Okay, in the third round, like, you know, how you position yourself depends on the enemy's pattern of pushing. In the first like 2 rounds. So in the first round enemies went A. In the second round they went B. They lost both of these rounds and they're finally playing a full buy round again. So in this type of a scenario chances are 60% and more. 60% and more that enemies will go onto the A site. So, since we have a stinger, we should be doing some kind of an aggressive play with a cubby position smokes, with a fake one-way smokes, or any aggressive setup that we have in the playbook. Ranked playbook on my Discord server, where you can get the tips and tricks for every fucking map with Omen, or any controller, with that matter.
Okay.
Now, this play that you did here, I would never recommend you to do this. You know, especially alone. Essentially, like, it's not worth it. You can easily get spammed, flashed out, and stuff like that. The only play that you can maybe try doing is doing a fucked up smoke like this in eco and halberd rounds, and trying to wrap this smoke to surprise the enemies through this corner. But even this play I would do when I have only a shorty or a classic pistol or some, you know, bad weapon. Fuck it, man. You know, start with a classic pistol here, get the early contact, ba ba boo ba ba ba. Then do the cubby position smoke. Through this smoke, we can delete the enemies and dodge all of their utility. Or start on the tower, jump spot the enemies. Aha, they're coming. Create a cubby position smoke. Like this. We can play here. We can also play here. Fuck up the, you know, we can create a double smoke setup. Now we can paranoid the enemies, run them down. Like, there's so many different options. Better options than doing this and getting in this position. How do I get better KST as a duelist main? Better timings, better pathing, better crosshair placement, better mechanical skill, better duels, better team play, better, like, a lot utility usage. Like, there's a lot of things that you can do better.
That was push.
I like that you try to do something out of the box in this bonus round, but you know, it's just what you did is not something I would recommend to you.
They just shoot me through the smoke.
And it was obvious that enemies will go A. Now, in this fourth round, I don't know, you know, enemies were going A, B, A in the first 3 rounds. So in this fourth round, we can play in the vents, you know, playing a faster rotation between B tower and A tower. That is fine when you're playing Omen, because you can easily teleport from the vents onto the mail and support your teammates on B tower and B site. So it's fine. Buying a judge, I don't know about that. You know, like, generally speaking, if you have money for the operator in the 4th or 5th round on split, it doesn't fucking matter which agent you play, you should get the operator. And you should go for some aggressive peek in A main or B main area of the map and try to get an insta-kill. Like, basically, you need to learn how to do this. Like, this is the most free kill you can get in any lobby in Valorant. Like, the only time you will die when doing this type of a peek is if enemies are holding you from the opposite side with the operator. Otherwise, your chances of dying are below 10% in both A main and B main area of the map. Unless enemies are maybe using the slow orb, flashes, and stuns, and stuff like that. But let's be honest, in Diamond, they don't even use the smokes to execute a site sometimes. Or, in this round, we could have started with the op here, or hiding here, and then from this angle, trying to kill the enemies there. Like, and if you wanted to play a judge here, I would combine this judge with a sheriff. Much better option. You know, like, you have a long range weapon and medium range weapon, and you have a close range weapon. Whenever you have money for a sheriff and you're playing judge, buy the sheriff. Absolutely.
Mid.
I've died more times than I'd like to admit trying that op shot. Oh, brother, like, when I started playing Valorant, like, when I started playing Valorant, it took me 100 deaths to actually dial in the proper movement, timing, and mechanical skill and crosshair placement to consistently take this shot. Like, everything comes with time and practice. That's the nature of the game. Like, first thing that you need to understand what is good and bad in Valorant. And that is the purpose of coaching. Like, once you understand what is good and bad, then you are focusing on good habits, applying what the fuck is, good, and you need to go through that trial and error period of time. Like, you will get punished hundreds of times trying to do something that is good, but once you develop a feeling for that good play style, good utility user, good peak, whatever, a 101st time, you will start hitting it more and more consistently. Like, that is how you become a consistent player. Like, by always trying to repeat only the good plays and building the good habits, even if that hurts your win rate and your win conditions at this specific moment of time. In a month, 2 months, 3 months from now, all of that work is gonna pay off. Like, a bad play is still a bad play, no matter if, even if it works sometimes. Even if it works sometimes. While a good play is, most of the times, a good play.
1A, chamber A. So mid.
Listen, like, I'm noticing something in your gameplay. Not only on defense, on attacker side especially, like, a lot of times when you should be shifting, keeping your location a secret, like, you make 1-2 footsteps that gives your location away. Like, you need to work on these moments a bit more and try to self-reflect, like, in the future VOD reviews and stuff like that. Like, if you already place a smoke or you position yourself for some kind of a setup, you don't want to give the enemies an idea what the fuck we're doing at that moment of time. For example, this play here, fine. It's not that bad. Like, enemies didn't destroy the whole wall. So we have a pretty solid crossfire with the Sage and surprise setup. But, enemies heard your footsteps behind the wall. If I was in the enemy team, I would drop a aftershock onto you, a stun, and run you down. I don't know. Then, you're going through the vents. You have no idea if the enemies are in the vents or mid. You make the footsteps. Keep your location a secret, when you have no idea where and when you're going to be fighting the enemies. Should I just master one agent, or should I have a pool of agent per map? Up to Immortal 3, you should master 2 agents and have 2 alternative fill picks, flex picks, that you pick sometimes when you need to fill. And from Immortal 3 to Radiant, you can follow the same method, but the best idea is to have 3 main agents, 3 agents that you fully master, and 3 alternative picks that you can sometimes play.
I think they're going water. I'm not sure.
Yeah, man. I feel I'm gonna get sick tomorrow. My girlfriend has been sick for the last 5 days, and every day I'm wondering, how the fuck am I not? How am I not sick? Because my immune system is 0, like a 0. Yeah, I eat 1 meal per day. I eat like shit, live like shit, but somehow for 5 days my immune system is like, full on clutch mode.
I peek on your cross, Omen.
Oh, thank you, you saved me.
One in smoke, in smoke, in smoke.
Running, nice.
Listen, I need to give you one very important tip here. Very, very important. So here, you ended up 5 versus 2. This is something that I never spoke about in the past. But it is very important that you will also notice in my gameplay and in gameplay of other players. So when you have a huge numbers advantage and you have these close range weapons such as Stinger, Bucky, Judge, shit like that, I will still go for the kamikaze plays if that play allows me to at least kill one enemy before I die. So if you know here that one enemy is in the smoke and you have a Judge with 72 HP, even though, you know, based on some specific rules, it doesn't make sense for us to aggress the enemies. And we should not do that. But since the numbers are so high, you have half of your HP, you have a weapon with which you can easily kill the enemies in that close range. Those are the rare moments of time where you should risk it a bit more. Because, as I said, even if you die here and you take only one kill, your teammates are 4 versus 1. I mean, if they lose 4 versus 1, then we simply deserve to lose this match completely. Like, at that moment, just completely fuck it.
You saved me.
One in smoke, in smoke, in smoke.
Morning. Nice.
Sir.
remaining.
Maybe walked outside. Prevent.
You saved me so much, stage. Better with this money.
Okay, so let's recap a bit. In the first round, enemies went A, second round B, third round A, fourth round B. Enemies are mega predictable. They are fully following the A-B pattern of pushing and rule of fear. So in this round, chances are super high. Enemies will go onto the A side. It is, you know, in this round, what I would do, I would actually drop the Phantom to one of my teammates, and I would purchase the Outlaw as my main weapon. Why? Because enemies are once again playing a half buy, low buy, and winning this round with the Outlaw is simply a bit easier. And there is absolutely no reason for you to go for this aggressive play. Why are you aggressing the enemies right now? Like, you never want to showcase to enemies your aggression and your best outplays in the rounds where they're in the numbers or economy disadvantage. Like these rounds, you're always at the beginning trying to win, primarily based on that specific advantage. Gun advantage, numbers advantage, whatever. So here, we should just be holding some default positions, common positions, playing on a refrag. And if we really need to be aggressive or to go for some aggressive outplay, then we should do it. Like, we'll lose, you know, we're in the numbers disadvantage, playing a retake, that type of shit.
Oh, the Emma might be playing an operator.
But actually, okay, so my bad. In the last round, enemies were like eco halbei. Okay. My bad. Okay, we can do this play in this round. My bad.
Amen.
We are a bit deaf, you know? Like, listen, if enemies don't have an initiator that can reveal you on this position, don't smoke yourself off when you do this teleport. Fuck it. Just fight. Be ready for the enemy jet dash, for the raised satchels. You know, this play we use to primarily counter the team compositions that don't have the sky and that type of shit. You know, recon agents. If they only have the breach that is stunning this area of the map, this is the perfect play to kill the jet and raise that are dashing and satcheling onto the ramp.
I gotta leave you.
Sorry, I wasn't smoke.
And now we get the fuck out. You know? Reposition. Now, listen. You're playing Omen. Your bread and butter is fucking up the enemies in the corridors with a Paranoimus Rex. If you already hear the enemies pushing through these corridors, such as this one, such as this one, such as this one, such as this one. Paranoia out, go for a peek, try to take a kill. Like, yes, good idea here too. I mean, we need to get the fuck out because of the breach aftershock. But you should have instantly pulled out the paranoia and tried to maybe kill the enemies on the ramp. Then we can use a smoke like this. Pull out the shorty. And enemies will not expect you with the shorty instead of the smoke. Like, you can take 3 kills on one position instead of giving all of this space to the enemy team. Or taking a 50-50 fight with a stupid phantom.
Smoke. I wasn't smoke.
Paranoimus Rex. I don't know, as I said, like, because enemies are mega predictable and stuff like that, it's totally fine what he is doing right now. But remember that if you think that enemies will go mid and B, and your teammates are starting aggressively towards the B main area of the map, start on the B tower. Always, you know, start on the B site and give your teammates a paranoia here. You know, be ready to do this, essentially, from this position. On the contact of your team and enemies. You can also try doing some kind of a improvised one way, like this one, to support your teammates when you see that they are aggressive in this B main area of the map. And I would have started on the tower with my Sage, but in the same time, I'm ready to support my teammates in B main, no matter what type of fight they take. And in this round, playing a judge is a really bad idea because of the Isos ultimate. Whenever Isos has the ultimate, I mean, in that round, if you're playing a full buy round, you really don't, you don't want to have a judge, man. Like, you want to have some automatic weapon, you know, like Phantom Vandal, shit like that.
Get out of my way.
It's
Hey.
you and me.
He's open.
Yeah.
Chat,
Heaven,
dash,
heaven.
top. Have an ult, have an ult.
Paranoia, paranoia!
Nice.
Broke with traps.
Also, I really don't understand, like, how your Cypher doesn't have a smoke for the for the A main area of the map here.
Chat,
Heaven,
dash, top,
heaven.
top. Have an ult, dead.
Nice.
Broke with traps.
Don't know if you still have it.
Spike planted.
Close.
This push through this smoke was mega dangerous, man. Like, you know, basically,
Close.
first of all, always push the smokes. You know, let's talk about the smoke on the tower, on the ramp. Like, this smoke here. We always push sideways, like this. Like, every single smoke in Valorant, you should be pushing out with your shoulder. With a silent step mechanic or just running fast through the smoke. When you're clearing this smoke, you should always clear the right side first, and then focus on everything in front. Because most of the times, enemies are gonna play, you know, here or here. This position, we can clear like this, and then we clear this spot with everything else. And if you already go to clear the ramp, please clear, you know, back of this little box as well, because why not?
I'm blind.
Listen, in these eco halbay, you know, rounds with Judge, Bucky, and shit like that, I always recommend you to go for some aggressive plays. You know, like, and use at least one of your smokes for yourself. Like here, for example, before my teammates start swarming the site, we can use the 90-degree smoke here, teleport into the smoke, fuck up this guy, fuck up the enemies there, then push the enemies with a paranoia, or we can grab the enemies through here. We can use a second Shrouded step to reveal the enemies, and they don't know where the fuck is the Omen. We're still in the smoke, and we're ready to use a paranoia and to fuck them up. Be a bit more proactive, you know, like with these close range weapons, like because if your teammates die, a lot of times what I see players do, they simply play way too passive, and they play like way too scared with Judge, Stinger, and shit like that. Fuck it. Be more proactive, like, take the hands into your own... Take the matter into your own hands. Brother, enemy Clove, the biggest baiter in the universe. Maybe we don't need to take that fight alone, you know? Like, we're still losing 8-10. Our economy is not that good. So, if you don't need to die in a specific round, and if we can just close out the round without anyone dying, it is always the best idea when the round is absolutely won and our economy is not that good. I mean, in this round, one of your teammates played with Sheriff, one played like with, I don't know, Cypher played with also Sheriff, like, economy not that good.
We need 4.
Now listen, another rule that we apply on a defender side to read the enemies in ranked solo queue is the rule of 3 executes. Very rarely, enemies in ranked solo queue will execute the same time, the same site, or the same area of the map 3 times in a row, in the same way. Why? Because players don't think that that is unpredictable. But it is, you know, better than creating some A, B, C, D, E, F, G patterns. So in this round, even more than in the previous round, chances are really high that enemies will go mid or B. But when you have the Omen ultimate, you can fill in the positions that your teammates are not holding, and theoretically speaking, you can play whatever the fuck you need to play at that moment of time. Theoretically speaking.
4 on B.
As long as you use your ultimate as soon as possible to help your teammates out. Hey Charlatan, I really like your setup, probably one of the coolest I have ever seen. With a glowing logo in the back and YouTube trophy and Omen on screen. Pretty awesome. Unfortunately, I need to move to another apartment. You know? And we're not like it took me like 3 weeks to set up everything, and after 3 months I have to like move to a new apartment, and we're going back to the green screen. No, we're gonna have a green screen for like 2 years. In 2 years from now, I'm gonna buy my own apartment, and then we're gonna have a new setup like this. It's simply not worth it. Like, you know, when you're living, when you have a landlord, I just realized that it is not worth it creating any type of a setup or anything. Like, just put the fucking green screen, man, and that's it. But I don't know. It looks really nice. We'll see. You know what I can maybe do. You know what I can do, chat? Like, I can maybe record. Maybe I can record the my background and put it on loop with a green screen. I don't know how that would look like. We'll see. Like, that would be funny. I don't know, because it looks really nice like this. Maybe it would look weird. I don't know. We'll see. Basically, I'm moving to a new apartment in like in a month from now. So in a month from now, like I'll be in a new shit. I already got the keys, I got everything. I just don't want to move yet because I have like 1 more month in this one. But I don't know, like, I don't know how that would work, you know, like, is it even worth it? Like, I don't know. I also liked our previous green screen setup. The green screen setup gives me more ability to make some funny shit, you know, like 200 IQ and shit and memes. But to be honest, like, maybe I can record this. I can definitely record this and put it on loop. Are you moving to a new apartment or a house? Are you owning the place? The new place or still renting? I'm still renting. I'm renting the place for 2 more years. In 2 years from now, like, I'll be getting my own shit. But yeah, try it, yeah. Okay, we'll try it. So, what we need to do is we need to have the camera at the same angle, like this. Yeah, it's probably gonna be the same angle, like this shot. This shot, bro. You know? This shot. And then this back here. And then make sure that nothing is visible. Record the background, bro. I'm making green screen. Yeah, I will, bro. Okay, let's continue.
Hey.
Listen, man. In this round, enemies are seriously once again playing a bit of a halberd round. Whenever you're playing some bomb set alone, unless you are playing some kind of an eco or halberd round, make sure that you don't die immediately. You know, try to abuse at least like 2, 3, 4 different angles or different setups with which you're maybe trying to kill the enemies before you commit yourself into some fight like this. Also, you know, once again, what you should be doing with a judge a lot more is combining the judge with the sheriff. Like, you can start with the sheriff here and go for a one tap, only one shot to destroy the ISO shield or to maybe kill an enemy like this. Then, with that shot, you're baiting enemies into thinking this guy only has a sheriff somehow. They will have more confidence to push you through this smoke. Then you do a smoke, copy position smoke, bop, 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 easy kills. We hide here, wait for the enemies, TP into the enemy smoke, connect with your sage that is going through the vents, lock down the ramp, voila. But this, like, you know, why would you play so aggressive? It's not an equal round for you, you know? Yes, you have a judge, but you have like so many different setups. How we can fuck up the enemies around the A site with that close range weapon. Like this play that you did here is something that you should maybe do when you are playing some kind of an eco or halberd round, you know, with a shorty, trying to go full on kamikaze and trading yourself for a kill. But in a full buy round, there's no reason to play this aggressive, and for the first fight of yours is your last fight.
Yeah, that.
That's a lot.
Still, as I said, like, it really doesn't matter where he is starting, because he has the ultimate, and we can rotate super fast. But if you're playing alone on the A site, I would recommend you to always start on the ramp, jump spotting the enemies here, and getting this information. Like, we need to have the info. How many enemies are here? Are there any enemies? And playing split passively, where you have no information here, here, and here, is the worst thing you can do. I mean, your teammates on B side are also making a huge mistake. Like, Cypher is playing with his setup from the backside. That is retarded. The bare minimum he should be doing is getting this info. Jump spotting the enemies in the B main area of the map. And then he can play off of his setup or whatever the fuck he wants to do. Also, I mean, this is not really the best spot and the best angle to hold when you're playing a Phantom, because you need 2 bullets to kill the enemies. Like, I don't know, with a Phantom I would always position a bit closer. Like, we can use this off angle. We can use this position. We can use this position to try to take a kill. And then we can fake the shot the steps that we went on the site. Or we can seriously, you know, teleport somewhere onto some off angle to take a second fight, for an example. Oh no, he said the R word. New Valorant beef incoming. Brother, like, you can make a compilation. Like, like, I think that the retard is my signature word, like, on streams and in the videos. It is probably the most used word, like, when I'm describing something.
You meant steps?
Sorry, man, I'm not from US of A and those Western countries, like, ain't a pussy, man. Sorry, you know, like, really, I don't care about it.
Yeah, maybe mid.
Don't smoke by one.
Not really progressive too much, like, you know?
Oh, okay.
But no, still 2 there. Okay, let's go all bang.
Words cannot really hurt you. So
140 clove, 140 clove, 30 jet. All 3.
I'm not hitting you in the head.
Clove 1 HP, jet 30.
So we have spy or not?
Okay, mid.
No, 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 no. They have spike.
Rotating mid. Can you come vents, Omen?
Just try to play split a bit differently. On a macro level, I feel free to rotate a bit faster. Like, especially when you notice that the main playstyle of the enemies is 5-man executes. And they're simply like, you know, they're simply like playing together, committing to the executes, committing to the side pushes. Rotate a bit faster, like, help your teammates out. Fuck it. Split is a fast rotation map anyways. I play with... your teammates made a 4v2 numbers advantage. Fuck it. Fuck it. Like, just play with a teammate that you think has a higher chance of dying at that moment of time. And be aware that enemies can be anywhere, everywhere, and they can backstab us, potentially. Just cover all of the angles left and right. You think it is worth it to Omen ult on enemy Cypher ult? No. Well, depends. Depends how fucked you are, you know, like, basically, depends in what type of a situation you are at that moment of time.
Okay.
Cell garage. Okay, they're both low,
But here, for an example, like, he should have already been, like, you know, where I would have played right now is probably, I would be somewhere here. Like, my Sage is on tower, my Jet is here, Fade is here. I'm just holding the flank and lurk from A. And I'm already there to support my Sage, my Jet, and Fade immediately.
So, that's it.
One enemy remaining.
Just 10 HP.
Waste of ultimate. Like, why would you do this, bro? Like, but you're there, bro. Like, you are there. Like, you just need to skip dip. Like, you need 2 seconds to connect with the Jet and Sage.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, get going.
It's a bit way too passive. Like, I don't know really what is the plan, but whatever is the plan, like, you should have started maybe from the ramp, jump spotting the enemies, or you know what you also noticed is the enemy breach always does only a stun like this. That stun will never stun you on this off angle. Simply it cannot. It is not wide enough. Like this is the stun that breach is doing. So essentially just stand on the boxes, hold this off angle. Let's try to take the kill. We can also fuck up the enemies with the paranoia, and then we can do maybe some kind of I don't know what you're trying to do. Like, do you want to play in this corner and kill the enemies from here, or grab the enemies? Like, we'll see what his plan is right now. Just this should be your secondary plan, not the first plan or a first position. I guess we don't have a plan. We don't have a plan.
B.
Yes, we take.
2 ahead.
Spike planted.
Play with the jet. Jet is wide open. Jet is wide open. Fuck the smokes.
Blind.
You want to play? Let's play.
Go down. Like Chamber used his ultimate. It's one of the most powerful ultimates in the game in these long range and medium range fights. You know, like you just did a blind onto the enemies on the left side. Like this is the paranoia that you did. Most of the times, when you do this paranoia, and your teammates are already there to support you, you simply want to teleport on this position, especially if you have a smoke here. You can check the enemies below you, you can fuck up the enemies that are on the right side, and clear those angles for your teammates, and from this off angle you're just holding this position. Your jet revealed that none of the enemies are below us.
Let's play.
Sorry, like he already did this like 6 times during a VOD, and he has a beef with the ropes, man. Like every time when he was going down the ropes or up the ropes, like it was something funny, you know. Like Charlatan moment 2022, man.
2 behind the pillar. 1, I like. Another one.
Let's play.
And also, like, when it comes to Omen specifically, the ability that you're underusing or that you're using incorrectly the most is the paranoia. Like, literally, you either get no value from this ability, or you use it way too early, way too late. You don't use it at all. Like, paranoia would be the #1 shit that I focus on if I was you. Like, simply using it more for different scenarios and combining it better with the rest of my abilities. And the second thing is using Shrouded Steps in a bit more diversified way. Not only to reposition or to get the fuck away, but also to outplay the enemies, to reveal the enemies as a recon tool, to scout for the enemies, obviously. Like, that is what you're missing, especially on the attacker side, what you were missing within your Omen gameplay. Sorry, that's funny. On a macro level, we're only making 2 mistakes, but 2 very terrible mistakes, which will be punishing enemies a lot more in A-man and B-man areas of the map, which will be playing semi-aggressive. And the second mistake is, like, he prioritizes way too much map control over the team play in some of the rounds.
Get out of my way.
Hey, left.
Yeah.
A.
He's done.
Inside already.
Dashed up.
Okay, I mean, we kind of sold our Cypher for 1 kill. It's fine, I guess. Like, we can just play retake now.
Over.
Let's see.
But this is the problem when you're playing passively on Split. Like, on Split, every single area of the map, same as on Ascent and same as on Bind, works primarily in the favor of a defender side team. And when you're playing split passively, like you're consistently playing behind these lines, I mean, like, you're selling too much map control where you can easily fuck up the enemies if you think that the enemies will go there in that round. We have smokes, we have paranoia, we have like we have sage lorb, sage wall, fade dogs and seas, like, you know, we can dead zone the enemies, which you should be doing, like, you know, at least 2 times. We should try to do this. Just play in dead zone, like run and gun. Why not? Get the info, get back. Now we can do the smoke, paranoid the enemies here, maybe take a kill. Who knows? Like, who knows? You have many options, but you cannot start like here with a. And your idea is to what? Kill the enemies with a shorty through this smoke. As I said, like, that can be your second plan, third plan, fourth plan. But it cannot be a first plan, like.
Hey.
Yeah.
And how the Jet died, how the Sage died, I'm not gonna talk about it.
The city already.
Oh no.
Maybe.
There's nothing better. There's absolutely nothing better you could have done at the end. Like, you could have maybe played a bit more aggressively from the tower and go instantly for some retake, but it's not really the most optimal play. But just your starting positions are fucked up this whole match. Like, you need to have a better pre-planning. Like, if you fix the start of your rounds and you have better initial strategies, you'll find more success in terms of your general playstyle and gameplay on defense. Like this was a bit better, but you know,
Main smoke.
as soon as you did this smoke, like, what, you lost the timing there a bit. You know, like, if my Sage is starting in the Amen and she's going for that smoke, I'm instantly doing, like, as soon as the smoke deploys, I'm ready to pick this. But, you know, you kind of shifted here. Your peak was mega delayed. And the Jet crossed the smoke and killed your Sage. Like, basically, as soon as the smoke deploys and the Sage wall goes up, you go for the peak and take this space and make a crossfire with your Sage. And just be always aware that depending how you place this smoke, enemies can potentially see you here and here as well. And then, to be honest, like, that wall of the ISO was pretty nice. But even this wall we can use in our favor if we had a paranoia to flash the enemies. But we can use throughout the steps now to maybe outplay the enemies. We can maybe TP here. Well, you know, keep our location a secret. Instead of waiting for the wall to hit us, and then we're overexposed to maybe like 5 enemies. My dude thinks he's tens, bro. Even tens cannot win this, man. There's no way, bro. Like, 5 gold player, 3 gold players looking at tens are gonna kill him. At least the last one is gonna kill him. Thanks God he moved to the left side. Okay, so your main question for this VOD review was, what the fuck would I recommend you to main, considering your playstyle and considering your playtime as well, because he has a really low playtime. And also, the second like purpose of this VOD review was to see like his mechanical problems and to recommend some kind of a warm-up to this guy. When it comes to the warm-up, as soon as I upload this VOD review on my second YouTube channel, I'm gonna share with you some of my private warm-ups and aim trainings. You will get something that is in between 15 to 30 minutes long, and something that is efficient and effective for you. You can use that warm-up also as your aim training routine because you don't have that much time to actually play Valorant per day. When it comes to the main agents, I kind of forgot what the fuck I saw on the attacker side because I did this VOD review in 2 parts, you know, like we did it, you know, on Friday. So I'm just gonna watch this whole VOD one more time, and I'm gonna share with you a document of what I would recommend you to main on each map, based on your playtime, based on your playstyle, and based on your strengths and weaknesses as a player. So you will get a document when it comes to the main characters, and you will get a warm-up through private messages, obviously. Now, when it comes to your general playstyle, I mean, you have a lot of weaknesses left and right. We covered a lot of them, you know, especially on the attacker side, but I think that, you know, the main thing you should be using to learn this game, and that is going to help you a lot, is number 1, the playbook on my Discord server. I mean, you're already a tier 3 sub, so you have the access to that playbook. Like, that playbook is going to help you a lot with mastering some of these setups, strategies, macro, and better macro and micro playstyle. Like, that is what you were kind of missing on both attackers and defenders side. Your pathing and executes were kind of off. Your team play was not really the best based on the map that we were playing. We were not really trying to counter the enemies that well enough on defender side. Our initial positioning was always kind of bad. So that is the first thing I would recommend you. To fix that macro and micro playstyle based on the ranked playbook that you have on my Discord server. Now, the second thing I would recommend you is to... Like, consistency is fucking you up, man. Like, you know, it would be really great if you can maybe do that warm-up that I'm gonna recommend to you every day. And every day you play, like, at least 2 games of Valorant. Like, I feel... Your gameplay really feels that it mainly suffers from that playtime inconsistency. And unfortunately, you know, you just need to play more. Like, that's it. Brother, like, right now, I felt so fucking dizzy. I felt like I'm gonna die on the spot. What the fuck happened right now? Jesus Christ, man. You think it is worth it to... Wait. Is getting rated in Europe harder than NA? Yes, and I explained why. Is going pro easier in Europe or NA? It's easier in North America, more opportunities. But generally in Valorant, it is easier to be a tier 3 and a tier 2 pro than in some of the games. But in Valorant, being a tier 1 pro is mega hard because it's very inclusive, you know? And it's the fucking franchise league, and you really need to be above 0.0001% of players, basically. Very exceptional, with very good networking as well. Listen, my friend Fukaro, bro. We're going to discuss a lot of the things through private messages. Remember that you have my 24/7 support for the next 7 days after I upload this VOD on my second YouTube channel. And we're going to finish everything... through private messages, because I'm getting a bit dizzy and I might be dying right now. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, join my Discord server for coaching, all of that stuff. My private coaching is completely different than this shit. This is just live VOD reviews, and it has nothing to do with my private coaching. And tune into live streams almost every day, except when I need to move to a new apartment. And we are getting Radiant for the 24th time this act. That's it. Thank you for watching. See ya next time.